Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You'll understand the 7 demons within you. You'll understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway, so.
In the old days, love was pure and true. Now it's just a show for all to view. People use it for their own gain, leaving hearts in sorrow and pain. Once a sacred bond, now just a game. Hearts are broken, never quite the same. Love used to be a beacon bright, now it's lost in the shadows of the night. Oh, how we long for those days of yore, when love was honest forevermore. But now it's twisted, tainted and cruel, leaving us drowning in an endless pool. What can we do? In the spiritual world, all seems bright, but shadows lurk in the dead of night. Half of humanity wears a wicked guise, evil deeds hidden behind virtuous eyes. Beneath the surface, a darkness lies, masks of deceit veiling their lies. In this realm where good and evil collide, the line between them is blurred, hard to decide. So tread carefully in this world so grand, for not all that glitters is gold in the sand. In the spiritual realm where illusions endure, evil and good dance in eternal obscure. Just imagine that. Karma doesn't ask you how you want it, it just comes and take it. So be careful how you treat others on your way up the ladder, cause your way down, trust me. In a world of empty stares, fake love fills the air. Sincerity's distant glare, leaving hearts in deep despair. Truth is lost in a web of lies, hiding behind deceitful eyes. Love that fades and slowly dies, leaving us with heavy sighs. Aching souls in a loveless land, yearning for a genuine hand, but fake love rules with cruel demand, leaving us to understand. In this age of like and retweets, we've forgotten what real love truly means. It's not just about show and tell, but a feeling that makes our hearts swell. It's hard to know who's true and who's fake in a world where appearances are hard to shake. But real love is deeper than a profile pic. It's in the way that someone makes your soul click. So let's not get lost in the digital haze. Let's remember what real love truly conveys. It's not about followers or online fame, but a connection that sets our hearts aflame. In this world of make-believe, they all wear a smile, but behind the scenes, it's just the clever guys, puppets in their show, dancing in their stage. We're all just pieces of their charade. Beneath their mask of joy lies the tangled web, where secrets and deceits are carefully bred. Their lovey-dovey act is just for display. We're all caught up in their twisted play. So let's break free from this illusion so grand and see through the facade with hearts unplanned. No longer pawns in their game of charade. Let's find our own path and not be swayed. I feel like I'm surrounded with people with strings attached to their back, waiting for their master's command. It's like when I was little, right, and I was reading Pinocchio. Every time that he told a lie, his nose grew. It's just that, in real life, their noses don't grow. Karma just catch. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble day. This y'all shorty Racheal. I want to welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast show. Let's talk about it. DDG versus Halle, Elon versus Trump, right? Current news and more. It seems like, it's a battle of toxicity, right? Within relationships, right? Like, we got people that, how can I say, became power couples, right? And then ended up being drama couples, right? Let's not forget, we had Remy Ma, Papoose, so many like Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, right? So many relationships, Will and Jada, right? We're in 2025 though, so we're going to get into DDG, right? Versus Halle. Elon versus Trump. Like, what in the world is going on? All right. We got a battle of Hollywood versus love and politics versus love. All right. So right now, DDG, Halle Bailey is trending the headlines right now, right along with Elon Musk, right? And Donald Trump. I don't think anybody can sit here and explain to me what's going on, right? But we're going to start off with DDG, Halle Bailey. Then we're going to hop on to Elon Musk and Trump, right? And get right into the current news, because there's a lot of things going on in Philadelphia, right? And in other places around the world. So let's get started with DDG and Haley Bailey. I want to give a big shout out to Miss Genesis One and Young Riaz down in the chat down below, man. I appreciate y'all support, guys. Make sure y'all go check them out. Check out Miss Genesis One. Great conversations, great topics, right? And her ASMRs be popping. All right, so make sure y'all go check them out. If you got kids, man, Miss Genesis One's channel is the one to go, especially if they like the ASMRs. I'm sorry, I can't say the word right sometimes. And make sure y'all go check out Young Riaz, right? He got them shorts, right? Showing us about the music in the UK and much more, right? But we're gonna get on topic, right? How does social media fuel competition among parents, making them feel inadequate or pressure? Once again, how does social media fuel competition among parents, making them feel inadequate or pressured, right? Does the rise of parenting influencers create unrealistic standards for everyday families? Should parents share their children's lives online, or does it violate their privacy? How does social media impact a child's digital footprint before they're old enough to consent, right? The drama that's going on between DDG and Haley Bailey, what people don't seem to realize, it's not just affecting them, right? Their image, right? The way people perceive them. This is affecting their child, the way their child sees them when their child gets older. See, people don't realize that trauma, right? That, like, this child is going to be left behind with so much trauma. So I feel as though, right, parents out here that are, how can I say, I don't know if Haley Bailey is, I know DDG is known more. Well, I mean, they both do it, right? They both do it, because I know there was a there was a whole debate on, well, she don't want him to show the baby, right, on social media. Why is she doing it? And I feel as though that this should be something that they co-parent about, right? If DDG cannot show his son on social media, neither, because they had me thinking, they really tested my noggin, and they got me in my head. And what's crazy is, right, a lot of parents nowadays fail to communicate, right? A lot of parents nowadays, how can I say, don't take the time to sit here and realize that their problems affect their children, right? And I mean, I can go about this in so many ways, right? But how does effective communication impact the success of co-parenting, right? All their kids are messed up now with social issues. Yes, facts. And that's what I'm saying. Shout out to these great men that I had a conversation on my panel: Gary Busted Down Brown, Mouthpiece, Tyron, right? I feel as though, parents nowadays should not be, putting their kids out here on social media, right, for fame, especially for a buck, right? And I'm not sure if DDG does this, right? And I feel as though something deep down inside tells me that he does, right? When he brings his child onto the platform, right, it brings him more views, especially more lady followers. Oh, he's a good dad. He know what he's doing. So does Haley, right? And let me say something, right? One thing that these men all can sit here and say is that I got to give them a big shout out, because they sat here and they cut that shit down the middle, right? They sat here and they, gave their perceptions, right? Their opinions on, what was right, what was wrong, right? You can't listen. That's one thing you can't cut down the middle, is what was right and what's wrong. You see, either it's right or it's fucking wrong, either or, right? So there's something in common that a lot of these influencers have when it comes to relationships, right? And it's the toxicity. They all start off with a good message. You see where I'm coming from? Get to draw the people in, this and that. But look how everything ends up. And I feel as though it's like, it's not just the celebrities' fault, right? But it's also the consumers and the viewers, because I feel as though we live in a world where people constantly want to, how can I say, want to live the life of the Hollywood superstars, right? They want to be able to experience life the way baddie shows it, Housewife of Atlanta shows it, Bad Boys Clubs, Bad Girls, all this stuff, right? And I feel as though that there should be boundaries to ensure healthy co-parenting dynamic, whether you're in a relationship, right, or whether you're not in a relationship, right? What boundaries should be established to ensure a healthy co-parenting dynamic, my bad. And can co-parents maintain a friendship, or is it emotional distance necessary for stability? And I feel as though that a lot of parents need some emotional distance, right? All right, I'm gonna put it like this: they should keep a distance from each other, right? Pick up your child, do what you got to do with your child when you're with your child. Enjoy that time with your child. Teach your child, drop your child off, but avoid, the bullshit and the drama. If you know that you and this person is gonna bump heads, don't even go there. Don't even start shit. Your child is right here. But unfortunately, a lot of parents, right, cannot keep their emotions out of the relationship. You see, whether it's friendship wise or whether it's relationship wise. And this has been shown a lot through these celebrity / influencers, right? And once again, I feel as though that the word influencer, and that's something that, Gary, had me thinking about. And this is what I came up with, my own conclusion, right? Gary, Mouthpiece, and Tyron had me thinking that, that last live that we had, we was talking and stuff like that, right? I feel as though that the word influencer has replaced the word mentor. I feel as though that a lot of people are looking into, these celebrity / influencers, right, as mentors. What do y'all think? Who do y'all think we should be looking at as mentors, right? When it comes to looking up to somebody for respect or, advice or, much more. What is your opinion when it comes to that? And how does fame impact the ability to seek justice in domestic violence cases? Should restraining orders be more strictly enforced when children are involved, right? So we're going to get right on topic, right. I mean, I haven't gotten off topic, right? But when it comes to the Halle and DDG situation, Halle has accused DDG, right, of abuse, this and that, and it's gotten a whole lot of women, it's pick a woman's side, you got to pick Haley's side, you got to pick Haley's side. Kind of reminds me of the Remy and Papoose situation. You had the women, you got to pick Remy's side, you had the men, you got to pick Papoose side. The same thing is happening over here with the DDG and with Halle, right? And I'm going to sit here and be honest with a lot of y'all. I feel as though that Halle, right? Halle became the red flags, right? Halle was warned, right? And instead of taking heed to the warnings about what was, going on with DDG, she ended up becoming the red flags. And I know that's going to confuse a lot of you, what I'm trying to say, right? But in this situation, I feel as though me personally, right, she became the red flags. She didn't take heed. She I don't know if this was really her big first relationship or she had another relationship before this, right? This is more my kids' generation, right? I'm not saying that I don't know nothing about Halle. I've been doing my research. I've learned a lot about Halle within these past 2 years, right? But it's more of my kids' generation. I didn't grow up with Halle like my kids had. You see where I'm coming from? So this generation of Disney stars is not something that I know so much about, but I do know of. Right. So if I'm going to do a live like this, damn well I'm going to do my research. But the video that we got, let me see. Miss Genesis says facts. It's all emotional manipulation. They draw you in when they get their followers. Then they switch up their content. Oh, I need my private time. Not everything is for social media. And that's a fact. That's how it be. Right. And it's playing like that. If y'all missed my live, right, on I think it was 2 parts to it on what defines a woman's presence. Let's talk about it, right? How should women carry themselves? There's 2 parts to that. And we had Gary Busted Down pop up. We had Mouthpiece. We had Tyron Motif pop up. Go check that live out so that you can hear, not just my perspective, but also my baby pop, my fiance's perspective, Mouthpiece, and Tyron's, and they had great perspectives and about these topics, right? Right, but today, right, we're gonna react into Lovely T. All right, it's been a minute since I think I did a few reactions on Lovely T recently, right? We've been reviewing and reacting to Nick at Night. Yo, I love watching these women, man. I do gotta get on my, I gotta figure out how. I think I'm gonna do it once I set up my little studio and stuff like that, right? And then I'm gonna do like the weekends and like Fridays and Saturdays is when I'm gonna come live. Saturday nights, Friday nights, right? So that way I can go on a few hours, let people on panel and talk. Then during the week, I'm gonna do uploads, whether I edit the videos on my phone or edit my videos on the computer while I start getting everything situated. It's time for me to I've already recovered enough. It's going on what, a year and what, 5 months that since the accident. It's back. It's time to get the old Racheal back. So y'all gonna see a lot of it's time to get back. So y'all gonna start seeing a lot of them old videos that I used to upload, right? And people like, yeah, a lot of those. And then the lives on the weekends. But I am grateful that we got Lovely T at Night. These are people that are, how can I say, they went to school for this shit. They've been doing this shit forever. Like I think I was a teenager watching. Yeah, I was a teenager. I'm lying. No teenager. Nope. Because once you hit 19 and you hit 20, you're not a teenager no more. Nope. Right? Stop lying. You was a young lady. Listen, I wasn't a girl, but I was not yet a woman. You see where I'm coming from? That shit is crazy. But I appreciate them for putting this content out here, man. Because I am able to, do a little more deeper research, and I like the way they put it together, right? So I got these 2 videos from Lovely T that's going to dive a little bit into DDG's and Halle Bailey's story, right? So let's check out what she put out here, right? And we do another part to this next time because I also want to hit the current news and I want to hit the Elon Musk and the Trump. And I think that's another video that I have here from Lovely T. And we're going to get into my Twitter while we hitting that Elon Musk. So we're going to hit Twitter to find out what is going on with Trump and Elon. They is at war.
Right, we have some breaking news. This just came out about an hour ago. DDG is basically filing his own orders. He's filing an emergency motion against Halle Bailey. So I'm going to go ahead and break this down for y'all. So this is what they're saying. DDG.
And for those of you wondering, I think it's been denied, the emergency motion to deny the baby. We're in America. Y'all know that it's going to go more towards the mom. I mean, I've said this a few times. For some reason, the father has to prove that the mother is unstable, right? And even with all these texts that DDG has revealed, right? Because there's a lot of people coming at DDG, a lot of women. Oh, you shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all this, right? DDG, in my opinion, is wrong because I feel as though that if he knew before he got this girl pregnant that she was unstable, he should have never knocked her up, right? But he still did. Halo is here, right? Both these 2 beautiful people got a blessing from above, right? And this blessing should be teaching them how to become better parents, a better person, than they was yesterday, so they could be able to co-parent, right, and teach this kid so many things. I feel as though that these 2 need to stop trying to get back with each other, and I feel as though it takes 2. It takes 2. They're both trying it. They're both toxic. They don't need to be with each other. What they need to do is focus on their careers, focus on their child, co-parent. When am I going to pick up my child? That's it. They shouldn't take it to business or friendship. That's it. Just co-parent. Is it possible? Yes. I've seen a lot of people do it. So y'all not going to sit here and tell me that it's not possible. Fuck out of here.
He has filed an emergency motion from stopping Halle Bailey from taking their infant son out of the country, claiming she poses an imminent emotional and psychological risk to the child. The rapper filed the docs on Wednesday morning asking for an emergency hearing because he says Halle has made plans to fly with their son Halo to Italy on Saturday. DDG says the courts shouldn't allow this because Halle isn't mentally healthy enough to care for herself and their child, and he worries what she might do if she leaves the court's jurisdiction.
Now I have questions. I've heard DDG answer questions on interviews, right? but I have yet to hear Halle Bailey speak up. Now I hear people saying, "Is for me so far as a he say she say about the Halle Bailey situation?" Because I haven't heard the words come out of her mouth. And that's the reason why I stopped, talking about the Remy Ma and Papoose situation, right, for a good minute until Papoose himself started speaking up, and I really, really heard Remy talking. And I know he's saying that she's saying, I know articles, none of that. So it seems like this is going to be, I'm going to do the same shit. I'm going to do the same thing with this topic, right, until I really hear Halle and DDG really speak on this, right, themselves. But I feel as though Halle, right, and it may sound a little bit contradictory, but I got to really listen to what I'm saying. I feel as though she should. No matter how much we want to get a better understanding to this, she shouldn't speak up. Keep all this private, Halle. Keep doing everything behind closed doors. I got to give her a shout out on that. Because that's showing that she's mature, especially after everything that has been exposed, especially after the text messages that DDG exposed to me, right? It has shown how she has grown up. If she's been quiet and she's been, but has she been tweeting? I gotta go to Twitter. I gotta go to Twitter and see if she's been tweeting. I don't think I've been hearing about Halle tweet either. So how is people coming to the conclusion that they know that Haley's here? And Halle, I feel as though it's more the paparazzis, and people are going about what the paparazzis put out there, and then DDG as a YouTube influencer and Twitch influencer and all this, right, is going to hype it up. And I'm not taking either side. I feel as though that they're both wrong in this situation. They should have kept this behind closed doors. DDG, you're older than Halle, right? And I know age ain't nothing but a number. Like, God damn, though. I know you got a little, but we're talking about this generation kids, right? All grown up.
DDG provides examples of alleged conduct he thinks is troubling, claiming Halle once took his gun and left the house without telling him where she was going. DDG alleges that he ultimately found her outside just holding the weapon. He says she was pregnant when the incident went down. He alleges that Halle once tried to have an abortion behind his back, but says she ultimately changed her mind and decided not to go through with it. On another occasion, 2 months after Halle...
See, this has been toxic from the very beginning, right? Halle didn't want this baby, but it seemed like DDG wanted the baby, right? And usually it's the baby daddies that don't want the baby, right? And the baby moms that want the baby to tie this. Listen, I'm not sure, but from what I've been reading, what I've been hearing, what I've been seeing, especially listening to DDG's lives, right, lately, I feel as though he ain't like her. I don't think he loved her. I think he used her. For those of y'all out there, and I'm not picking a side. I'm just letting y'all know what I perceive. I feel as though he used her fame to get himself more up. This relationship has been so toxic from the beginning. She may have liked him and then figured out that what she was being told about him is true. You see where I'm coming from? And then somehow, some way, this toxic relationship went from it being just, a little toxic to an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a nail for a nail.
Halle was born, DDG claims that Halle sent a series of alarming text messages threatening to kill herself and suggesting that their infant son Halle might also be harmed. As you know, Bailey has accused DDG of abusive behavior in the past, including once when she alleged he slammed her face into a steering wheel and chipped her tooth. DDG tells a different version of events, claiming that he came to pick up Halle for his custodial time with his son, but Halle jumped into the backseat when he demanded they come up with a formal co-parenting schedule. DDG alleges that she became increasingly agitated, started jumping from the backseat to hit him, and her momentum carried forward. She smacked his head on the steering wheel. He also posted an alleged injury right here. In fact, DDG says he was actually on the receiving end of the abuse by Halle, including photos of a large cut on his hand in the document, which he says Bailey caused. DDG is asking the judge to block Halle from taking Halle to Italy. He also wants sole legal and physical custody of their son.
See, this is what I'm not listen, and I know a lot of people gonna say, I know people gonna talk shit, but let me put it like this, right? DDG knows that she's probably been, I don't know, people say, oh, she's using the postpartum excuse postpartum as an excuse. Maybe. She's a woman. We know that a lot of stuff that women could do to try to get at men, try to, maintain a man, right? That's a possibility of that, right? But then there's a possibility of her have gone through depression. All right. We cannot deny that fact. And instead of trying to get her more help, and women are hard-headed. Some of them are feisty. You see where I'm coming from? There's no telling, and Halle Bailey, they say that Halle Bailey does have a temper, right? And when we was doing our little deep research on Halle, I said it. I was like, ooh, it's like it seems like she's got a little hood in her, right? So listen, we're not going to deny that there's possibilities of so many things. We're not there. We're not in these people's lives. You see where I'm coming from? I feel as though neither one of them need to be together. They need to start thinking about the child, right? And what's crazy is DDG is using her past before she got pregnant, right? And after she got pregnant, right? Towards this, like, is Halle still doing it? Is it still happening? Has she gotten help? Is she in therapy? What is her family doing to support? It seems like she's got a support system. It seems like he's got a support system. They both seem to have great support systems. There's no need for them to be communicating. No, they just need to, take care of their kids, raise their kid. And, maybe in the future when they have emotionally, right, mentally and sexually matured, they could probably, try to have a conversation. But right now it's too soon, too many scars, too much bullshit. You see where I'm coming from? I'm cutting this shit right down the motherfucking middle. Because believe it or not, what separates them from us is the bag they carry.
Or if he's not granted sole custody, he then wants all custodial exchanges facilitated by a third party. On Twitter, DDG's camp is also posting text messages between him and Halle. So they're saying this, Halle, this is proof. And these are from March 21st, 2024. She says, you leave me hanging as a mother. You don't step up when I need you to. She's also misspelling a lot of stuff. You can tell she's kind of frantic. She says, I'm begging you.
Fact, she's frantic. I mean, a lot of women do this. I don't know if people have noticed this, but as a woman, I could admit it. When I'm pissed off and I'm typing, I misspell a lot. I misspell the words. I swear to God, I even invent words that don't even exist, don't even make sense. Yo, my baby pops be reading this shit back to me, and I'm like, oh shit, I said that. He be like, yeah, you don't be thinking when you write. I was like, I know, I was pissed off. I just want you to feel the way I feel for that 1 second. And I stopped doing that shit. Sometimes it comes out. Sometimes it comes out. I'm not going to, I'm a woman. I can't listen, I got to tell y'all the truth. Sometimes it comes out. I'm very emotional. So sometimes when he pisses me off, I don't know. I'm a woman. I don't know. I don't know why. But I just, everything that comes to my head at that moment, I just tell him. Why we do it as women, I don't know. I got to get better at it. Have I gotten better? Yes. Do I got to do better than what I have done? Yes, I do. Miss Genesis says, I misspell even when I'm not mad. Shout out to Miss Genesis. All right, Miss Genesis says, facts. We can't say that their mental health issue is fake because people will look at you with the side eye, even though people fake mental health when they fuck up. Exactly. That's why I said what I said. I'm not going to sit here and take them possibilities away because we don't know. We don't know. The text messages show that she went through some type of depression. But people want to say that she could have faked it. She could have faked it, but we wasn't there to say that she faked it. The question right now to me is, after learning about all these text messages, is she receiving the help that she needs? Is she getting this proper support that she needs to get? Not, oh, she faking it. She's trying to bring DDG. No, I don't give a fuck about that. They don't need to be together. But in people's dreams, I guess they do.
I just found out, or you slept with Logic. But when this, Halle, this is proof. And these are from March 21st, 2024. She says, you leave me hanging as a mother. You don't step up when I need you to. She's also misspelling a lot of stuff. You can tell she's kind of frantic. She says, I'm begging you. I just found out, or you slept with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to kill myself tonight. My son will not be around for it. I hate you forever. You can have him. Let her be his mom. Wow. Then he says, I can't believe you're acting like this. And she says, please take Halo. It's really weird that she's misspelling so much. That's how you know she's frantic and going through it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if these are Haley Bailey's text messages, right? Something, something was going on, right? And I feel as though this right here shouldn't have been aired out. And Dorian Corey's closet, shout out, blessings, welcome to the live. He says, I'm trying to understand why this ordeal is so sensationalized because, listen, people look at celebrities like they're gods nowadays, in my opinion. You see where I'm coming from? Like, this is crazy right here. Like, a lot of these celebrities / influencers, whether they're YouTube influencers, TikTok influencers, Instagram influencers, no matter what platform they're in, right? A lot of people use, and I feel as though they misinterpret the word mentor for influencer, in my opinion. Correct? Maybe I'm wrong. You see where I'm coming from? But a mentor, you can gain something out of a mentor. What have we really gained out of these influencers? Just a little, I'm gonna just leave that right there.
He says, I'm genuinely scared of you, man. I feel like you're going to kill me in my sleep one day. I'm not allowing you in my house around guns. Please just go home. I'll pick Halo up from there. She says, me and Halo are in the cold, and you won't let us in your house. Are you serious? So there's definitely some stuff going on.
I mean, I wouldn't have put it the way Dorian did, but shout out to Dorian. Now that I'm reading it all the way. Wait. Dorian says the nature of the story is old as time. That's a fact. She was sheltered. Facts. Green and corny. And he probably was the first kind of street dude she ever was with. And that's a fact. A lot of females that are sheltered, right? And, end up coming across guys that are from the streets and stuff like that. They get so hypnotized by them. You see where I'm coming from? It's crazy, but it's true. I've seen it happen a lot. Like, I don't know what it is that when certain females that don't be out there, they see a street nigga and they be like, oh my god, and now he's become her panty wetter. Like, what the fuck?
Could he be a narcissist, gaslighting, and doing all types of disgusting things behind the scenes? Possibly. Could she just be batshit crazy? Possibly. But they're both bringing out receipts. This whole situation is just sad. People are dragging her currently on Twitter. Okay, so I'm going to read some more that's popped up. This is really disturbing. So there's a lot of text messages. So then after she blasts him about sleeping with Lala, she goes on to say, you
make a real good point. And it's crazy, right? And that's why on that poem that I got out here with the word, the lyrical poem, right? The shorty featuring the word. I even say it on there. It's 2025, but it feels like it's 1942. The way we're pushing racism out here, right? The way we're getting divided and much more, not realizing the majority of us are already have mixed in language, right? The majority of our kids out here, they're mixed breeds, right? And I'm just trying to say it in a way, right, where I'm not offending nobody, right? And I'm hoping people understand where I'm coming from. It's too much of this being pushed out there. Either we're in 1942 or we're in 2025. Because it sure as hell feels like I've never ever experienced 1942. I was born in 1989. I didn't start experiencing, even though it existed, racism and all of this stuff until I hit maybe, I'm going to say 16, 17 years old. Until I had my firstborn, until I went out there into the world. Before that, I wouldn't understand none of this, because within the community that I grew up, within this community, the one that I grew up in, There's different ethnicities. There's different cultures. You got Puerto Ricans and blacks together. You got Dominicans and blacks. You got Chinese and blacks. You got whites and blacks. We're so mixed up that it's not even a joke. That when I left my community, when I got older and I seen how divided the world was, I was shocked. Yes, I was. In my mid-20s, yes, I was shocked. The first time I experienced racism with my child was in Ohio. And I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Yes, I experienced it. I'm sitting here like, yo, like I even had my child get called black over there in Ohio. You see where I'm coming from? And I was already in my mid-20s. Never in my life did I ever experience that shit. And I live in North Philadelphia, Hunting Park area. How y'all feeling? How y'all living? Blessings, BDBGP. Welcome to the live, guys. Make sure y'all go check out BDBGP, man. If y'all into music, if y'all into beats, his channel's the one to go, man. Darian says, it feels to me like the story is pushed. Okay, I read that one. All right. The black race is dying, and people don't realize how stories like this subliminally instill racial and self-hatred. Facts. You're so true, and I mean you're so right. And that's why when I speak on these type of stories, I don't aim it towards the racism and all that stuff, right? I aim it because it's not just the black community going through this, right? You got the Hispanic community going through it here in America, right? You go out there to, the third world countries and stuff like that. It's different. It's completely different. The stories I hear, the videos I see, and much more. People that come from over there, over here, that talk about their stories, it's completely different from what from what I've been told, from what I thought it would be. So, listen, man, this world, yo. Like, I'm from North Philadelphia, and I'm telling you, like, this right here, when I got older, like when I hit 27, 28, I wanted to get young. I wanted to be younger again. I didn't want to experience what I thought was in Hollywood only. You see where I'm? And that's some real facts right there, man. And that's why we do these lives, man, because we want to bring solutions to the table, right? We want to get to the root of the problems and figure out what we can do, not sit here and debate and argue. We're not doing that. We're either going to find a solution, right, and work it out, or we're going to move on to the next subject, to the next topic, right, and then come back to that one and figure out how we can get to the root of the problem and solve this problem. Real shit. But we're not going to sit here and make a situation worse. That's the whole purpose of these lives, right? So, like I said, right, I asked a few mind-provoking questions before we, started this, right? I want to get this out the way so we can get to the current news. There's a lot of shit going on in Philadelphia, man, and we're going to get to that right after the Elon Musk. But listen, man. Should courts prioritize the safety of a child over parental rights in high conflict cases, right? It's crazy how DDG, right, came out months later. I mean, I'm going to say months later, right? It's like in the beginning, he ignored the whole situation and stuff like that. And then out of nowhere, he comes, boom, boom, boom. I'm sitting here like, does he even care about her mental health? Was he using her? You see, like, it's so many things I could say about this, right? And I feel as though I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it time after time. Not just us women, but a lot of men do it. We jump into these relationships without doing our research, without taking our time, without analyzing things, without doing our research about the person that we're going to get into. We jump into bed, right? And then hop into a relationship without getting to know this person. Then we think that getting into a relationship means 50-50, not realizing that it's 100-100. You put all of you in it the same way he puts all of him in it, or she puts all of her in it. And I feel as though that social media gives people the, how can I say, perception, right, to meet expectations that they can never really meet in real life. So does social media influence custody battles? And all right, my bad, I wrote this shit wrong. Does social media influence custody battle and online behavior be considered in legal decisions? What are y'all opinions about that? And I would love to hear y'all comments down below, and let's get this discussion started. For those of you that are in the chat, for those of you that catch the replay, right? Does being in the public eye make it harder or easier for victims to seek justice? If there was any type of abuse in this relationship, being in the public eye, would it have made it easier for a person to seek justice, or would it have been harder for them to, come out and ask for help? How does technology help or hinder? Does technology help or hinder co-parenting relationships? And I feel as though that technology hinders co-parenting relationship. Social media has messed up the perception of how a woman's presence should be, how a man's presence should be, and not just that, destroyed what parents and co-parenting should be. And that's my opinion. How does society's view of single parenting affect co-parenting dynamics? And are fathers and mothers treated differently when it comes to co-parenting expectations due to social media? How does cultural differences shape co-parenting's approaches? And those social media influence? How does social media influence how co-parenting interacts and resolve conflicts with families? My bad for the stuttering. My bad. So let's get back to what they were saying. I apologize. I just wanted to get them questions there right and out the way.
Penis inside of her in Mexico. Answer the
Wait, what the fuck just happened?
Read some more that's popped up. This is really disturbing. So there's a lot of text messages. So then after she blasts him about sleeping with Lala, she goes on to say, you put your penis inside of her in Mexico. Answer the fucking phone. Answer the fucking phone.
What?
I'm going to try one more time. And if you don't answer, it'll be over forever. I'm not playing, Daryl. That's it. Then he says, I just want to be alone, please. She says, I'm calling for help. I have a knife. Then
y'all know what's crazy? This is how I see a lot of these chicks out here in my community behave. On some real shit. I seen a chick throw a rock through a guy's window just to get his attention. Listen, one thing I've learned, right, watching these relationship battles out here within my community, right, is that if you fuck with a man's car, you definitely gonna get his attention. That's his baby right there. He could love you 1,000,000 times, but fuck with his car. He ain't speaking to you. Real shit.
And she says, I'm calling for help, but you don't care. Okay. Then he says, have a knife for what? And this is going on in 2022. And then he says, I just thought we do what I want to do today since it's Mother's Day. But if you really want to go, you can. I'll just go home and pack. Hello. Then he says, if you don't come back here, I'm going to call the police. I don't want you to do something stupid. I'm going to give it 5 minutes. You have a son. I know you took my gun. Then he says, the gun has no safety. Put it down. That's nothing to play with. She then, in return, says this.
These text messages shows us that Halle Bailey has a little ratchet side to her, right? No, I said that wrong. A little hood side to her, right? Is this depression? Is she faking it? What's crazy is, right, it can go both ways, but we're not sure. Who are we to sit here and say, oh, she's faking it? What if she's really going through depression? And he's making it worse. They're both young, ignorant to the facts. And neither one of them is helping each other out. Both of them are in their emotions. Both of them. He wasn't ready to be in a relationship. That's why I said he didn't love her. And I don't think he liked her either. He just wanted to use her fame. And he probably wanted to knock her out like, hey, look, listen, I'm going to have a baby by somebody that's about to become real famous or is already becoming famous, because Halle was already famous before. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I didn't even know about DDG right? Until I started learning about Haley. And he was already a social media influencer, they say. But I already knew about Haley because of the Disney movies. I mean, the Disney shows and stuff like that. I didn't know shit about DDG. And guess what? What I've learned about DDG right now, I can care less. Like, what can I learn from watching his videos, his streams? What can I gain out of it? But listen, don't sit here. And Haley, like, damn, Haley, who taught you how to be hood? Like, was you in the hood at one point? I'm guessing Haley got some hood people around her, even though she was sheltered, because she got some hood in her. She could have been using this to, manipulate him. You see where I'm coming from? Let's be real. There's so many ways I can go about this. But some way, somehow, I feel like it's a combination. She could have been going through depression. And at the same time, because of her age, wanting to get her things her way, this could have been her way. Spoiled. I don't know. But either way, I still feel as though, right, she should be getting some help. And I'm hoping she's getting the help that she needs.
You have ruined me and all my happiness. You hung up on me when I'm begging for help. You're the only one I used to have. And you're so focused on being famous and having money when you don't even see what's in front of you. How could you? How could you go to Mexico and be with somebody else? How could you openly talk shit about me to all your family? And
this motherfucker went and took a trip to Mexico, smashed another chick. He went over there and played with the maracas. And yo, Haley all up in her emotions over here. I thought he was the one to, listen, her mind's stuck in Mexico, man. We got Gary Busted Down we got Gary Busted Down Brown in the building, guys. Make sure y'all go check out Gary Busted Down. Great conversations, great topic show. My bad, OG. I ain't see you up there. What Ms. Janice says, all her gaslighting is crazy. Kids were for a bag. Now kids are used for the fame or the grams. And that's a fact. Like, we shouldn't be using our kids. Like, hey, listen, man, if you can't get this bag on social media without using your child, man, I don't know what to tell you. I've seen a lot of people get this bag on social media without using their kids. You see where I'm coming from? And if you're going to sit here and do something with your child, like, for example, if I'm going to let my child start my shorty, she doesn't have her own social media. She doesn't have her own phone. And if I was going to let her start a social media, she wants to do like the dancing and gymnastics and all that stuff, right? And ASMRs and all that. I'm going to let her do it. But I'm going to be the one watching her. But I'm not going to sit here and try to take over and try. No. Let them do their thing. Let them earn their thing. You don't take over their money. You don't do none of that. Teach them. Pass some knowledge on down. How to budget their money, how to use their money. You see where I'm coming from? And much more. They're learning how to become little entrepreneurs. But you know what? I don't know what being people is nowadays, yo.
all the women you want to sleep with, you want to ruin me, and you succeeded. So she's having a spiral moment. She's having a full mental breakdown.
Yes, she is.
She can't even spell properly. She's so upset. Let me show y'all some more messages. Then he goes on to say, this is from 2022, so this has been going on for a while. He says, the trust issues are becoming overwhelming. Maybe it's for the best that I put in too much time and effort into making you happy and to have to deal with this bullshit every other day. In your eyes, you're never wrong. It's frustrating and I'm over it. I'm no longer entertaining this argument. I need to work on becoming more successful like Jay-Z, like you said. Then maybe you'll take my vision of becoming a big label owner serious instead of shitting on my dreams every second you get. She says, you don't want to be with me? That's okay. I will never beg anyone. I will be successful. I don't need to be with someone who is going to demean me.
You see what I'm saying? It's like she was probably waking up at this moment, yo. Shit, we gotta give a big shout out to my big bro, yo. Big shout out to the Mill Ticket down there, yo, the loner, guys. Make sure y'all go check him out. Man, listen, make sure y'all go check out his website. Go show Big Bro some support, support, support. All right, guys, man. His merchandise is dope. His music is dope. Go check out the Milk Ticket. All right.
You like that I'm insecure. It makes you feel good about yourself. I'm not doing this anymore. Keep your phone on airplane mode. But when I die, don't say shit. Don't come to my funeral
Yo.
or anything. Fuck you. Be happy that these are the last texts you'll get from me. Now, you notice when she was typing in 2022, everything is spelled more, she's talking more coherently and everything is spelled properly. So this was the beginning when they were dating and everything was supposed to be, really happy on social media. And they're going back and forth in 2022.
See, they were faking it to make it. They were pretending in front of their fans that they was this happy couple. They had no issues, no problems. Hey, remind you of Remy and Pat? And look, this is why I don't look up to celebrity relationship goals. Man, come up with your own relationship goals. Become your own trend. Be your own leader. What in the world, man? I don't look up to other people to gain something that I need. I'm gonna come up with something to gain what the fuck I need. You see where I'm coming from? Listen, even if I have to start up a business, even if I have to sit here and spit a couple bars and make a fucking album just to get some revenue off that joint. Even if I have to go on stage, up on stage and read a couple poems, I'm gonna find a way. But there's no way in hell I'm gonna sit here and make something popular knowing that, oh no, this no, man, fuck out of here, man. But hey, people look up to celebrities like they're God. They say this is how it is, motherfuckers gonna be on all fours on some real shit.
Then you see how she's spiraling after years of, whatever is going on with them, be it narcissistic abuse or just whatever it is. Those 2024 messages, she literally sounds like she's about to jump off of a cliff. So let's keep going.
That was just last year, 2024.
We're still in 2022.
Damn.
She says, be happy that these are the last texts you'll get from me. Then it says, crazy how the one person I thought I could trust and be there for me constantly proves me wrong. You are wrong. You know that emotionally I struggle and I have a hard time. Yet when I'm obviously going through something, you ignore me until I go crazy. You throw it in my face, my insecurities, and laugh about it. You put your phone on airplane mode and say you're not dealing with it. But when something bad happens, don't say anything, because this is my attempt. I'm begging you to listen to me, to just answer your phone, to just hear me, to try and understand where I'm coming from, but you don't. And you'll regret it. You'll regret ever meeting me. Go back to the bitches that you're used to. Go back to fucking thoughts. Damn.
I need to ask y'all, men, is this a normal behavior for a man? Like, was he provoking her? Was he doing the right thing? What is y'all opinion, man? I mean, I'm speaking on the text messages. According to the text messages, what do y'all perceive? I mean, what do y'all think? Like, in y'all opinion, do y'all feel as though he was provoking her or he was being a man about it? I would love to hear y'all opinions, right? Because I'm a woman. I know how we react. You see where I'm coming from? But I want to hear y'all. And I don't want to hear it from the messy men that come online or the zesty men that come online. I want to hear it from the men. All right? And I apologize. I said it like that. It may sound fucked up. But I want to get this opinion from the fathers out there, from the men out there, right? That have been in relationships. I don't even want to hear it from the single men. I don't. If you ain't been in a relationship, I don't want to hear your perspective.
She's going through it. This is sad. You'll regret it. You'll regret ever meeting me. Go back to the bitches you're used to. Go back to fucking thoughts. That's what you want. You've never wanted anyone like me. You and your family hate me. Just admit it. But that's okay. Everyone does. But Poseidon, I will go and fly and be just fine in heaven without any of this, without any of you rude ass people making me feel bad about myself. And you can show these texts to whoever you want and laugh about it. Then she says, goodbye. He says, I was in the shower. If you want to talk, you can talk to me in person instead of eating food without me. I've never eaten without making sure you eat first. Okay, I'm leaving. The doors are locked. You can come get Poseidon and your laptop and your stuff tomorrow. I don't know.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. They was in a relationship and he was ignoring her on purpose. And she noticed it, and instead of just walking out, noticing that he was egging her, why she kept, see what I'm saying? Like, this could have been, you know, she could have been like, all right, how can I say? I'm gonna put it like this. I feel as though she was dick hoodmatized. Dick hoodmatized, all right? Yes, I just created that word. Dick hoodmatized. This was the real first hood nigga she had. The first street nigga she had. She might have been in other relationships, but they have, you know, this is crazy. Yes, I'm just a little like, what the fuck? This shit was toxic from the gate. And I would have walked away. Would I have? They got together real young. And see, am I being a little hypocritical here? Because I didn't walk away when my baby pops. I tried to make it work too. No, but this is different, Ray. This is completely different. God damn. This is completely different. Shit, I didn't sit here and make threats. I literally popped his tires and walked the fuck away and said, fuck you. Now leave me alone. See? That's why I'm like, it's completely different. I said, fuck you to him right away. He was the one that kept coming back, and I did take him back like an idiot a few times. But this is different, Ray. You can't compare it. Nope. See? Not even with yours. Damn, what the fuck is going on with these celebrities, yo?
I'm thinking Poseidon is a dog. Okay. Then she
Yeah,
says, I'm
Poseidon
going to
is
go
their dog.
home.
I'm
I just
dead.
want to resolve this so I can get some sleep, please. You don't ever have to talk to me again, but I can't breathe right now. This is in 2023. I'm just so stupid. This whole thing is so stupid. I just want to die. I never want to be here again. I hate all this. I hate this life. Then he says, please stop taking it to this extreme. She says, I'm tired of begging my only friend to help me. He says, I'm still communicating with you. She says, I just thought we'd do what we wanted to do since today is Mother's Day. So now we move to 2024. So I've read all of these, but you just see how she really starts spiraling.
Yeah.
So by 2024, she can barely even spell as she's texting. And she's literally threatening to, off herself. This is just sad and extremely disturbing.
You know what's crazy though? I'm going to sit here and be honest. Even though this is a relationship thing, right? Me personally, right? I stop texting people when I'm mad because of this. Because when you're mad and you're texting things, right? Especially things that seem harmful, even if you're saying it just because you're mad at that moment and you're trying to get back at somebody, right? Whether it's a friend, a relative, right? Or somebody that you're in a relationship with, that backfires. They can use that against you. And I've been stopped doing that. I think the last time I stopped going back and forth with people on text messages like that, I was like 26 years old. 26. Because that shit backfires. I don't know if people realize it or, they realize it and continue to do it. But then if you realize it and continue to do it, doesn't that make you a fool? I don't know. Like, shit like this can get used against you. And Haley is lucky. Haley is lucky that the judge denied DDG, right? Access to take her son to Italy. Like, she is lucky because, like, this right here, I think it would have been enough for. I mean, it seems like she must be getting the support that she was getting though. If he denied DDG, the request.
She definitely sounds like she's under narcissistic attack. And the way he's replying back, super calm, is giving me the creeps. He's not asking about her well-being.
Mm-hmm. I've been talking about that this whole lot.
He definitely poked the
I
bear.
know I'm not the
It
only one
seems
that
like he
noticed.
poked the bear until she finally snapped. She's finally waking up to all the lies and she's going off. She's better off just leaving quietly and leaving him alone. This is sad. This is sad. So, tea sippers, it's a lot to unpack here, but let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation.
All right. So I'm gonna leave that one right there at that. All right, guys, because we're gonna do a part 2 to this, right? Because we got the chick Lala, the one that was accusing. I mean, the one that Haley was accusing DDG of having intercourse with. I forgot where they was at, right? She speaks up. There's another video that I had where somebody was actually showing, where she was denying it. Then they went back in the past, right, where DDG wanted to be more than just best friends with her. I think he had kissed her, and she was like, "No, we can't be more than friends." So her saying right now, even though she's speaking up, saying that they never had a relationship where it was sexual or none of that, seems, I don't know, to me a little You see where I'm coming from? Because like if he had the audacity and the nerve to kiss you on a live, right, while he was, whether he was in a relationship with Haley or not, or whether they just broke up from their relationship, is crazy. And y'all been nothing but best friends, allegedly. So I would love to get the opinion, right, and the perspectives from the men on the situation, right? I do have another video here. I was going to get into my Twitter, but I am going to come back on live tonight. So we're only going to make this, we're not going on a 5-hour streak on this one. So let's get right into it, right? I would like to hear y'all perspectives on that, right? And before we hop into the next video, right? Are fathers and mothers treated differently when it comes to co-parents and expectations, right? How can I put this, right? Me personally, right? I feel as though that fathers are expected to do things, right? Like the expectations for fathers, right, are way more than what the expectations for mothers are, right? I feel as though, right, that a lot of people, right, have issues right now with co-parenting. If you have a child, and I don't get tired of saying this with somebody, okay, you fell off. You're not in love. Love faded. Whatever the problem is, whatever the issue is, whatever the situation is, right? As a parent, you have to find a way to separate your issues, right, with you and your other half, right, from your child. Stop putting the burden on your child. Stop having the fights and the arguments right in front of the kids. Try to find a resolution when they're not around. How can I say it? I mean, there's got to be boundaries put in, right? I mean, barriers. I don't know, something in order to figure out how can you have a healthy relationship, co-parenting with your kid while you're in a relationship or while you're separated, right? I feel as though that even if you feel as though you can't be friends when you're separated, you have to find a way to co-parent. Your child sees everything. And believe it or not, when they get older, they're the ones that come up with their own conclusions, with their own feelings. You see where I'm coming from? Unless, they haven't seen this one person and now they're only getting one side of the story. Man, we can go into details about that in so many ways, right? How does a child's emotional health change when parents excessively co-parent versus when they struggle? Have there been, does anybody know of stories where, have experienced themselves, right, a change, right, within their child's behavior, right, when they've learned how to co-parent versus when they didn't know how to co-parent? Does co-parenting work best when both parents have equal involvement, or is it a flexibility more important? What I hope y'all understand that, right? I mean, that shouldn't be that hard to grasp. Is flexibility more important or equal involvement more important? I feel as though equal involvement, and I've been saying it throughout this whole life. I feel as though that your family's lives should not be exposed to social media. Now, y'all want to sit here, y'all want to record a trip, y'all want to bring awareness to certain things, that's fine. But people come on here and expose their everyday life. They put out their family's business every single day. That's not something that should be exposed. All right. But I would love to hear your comments down below, right? We're going to leave the rest of the questions for part 2, right? We're going to go right on to, there's another video from Lovely T, but we're going to go right on to the Elon Musk and Trump situation. So it seems like Elon Musk and Trump are breaking up right in front of us on social media, right? Listen, man, it's a lot of hypocrisy, right? I feel as though in this situation, maybe I'm not, I gotta get this on the premium because no ads. We're not having ads right now. Nope, nope. Mess me with that ad shit. All right, so give me 1 second. Hold on. While I get it situated, I don't know what the hell just happened. Everything got discombobulated. Give me 1 second, guys. If I knew then what I know now, sometimes I wonder, would I be the same or would I be different? A shorty still believes in fairy tales and imagination that lasts forever. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. I wake up in the morning feeling lost and alone, wondering if life's worth living or if I should grab the throne. The weight of the world on my shoulders is hard to bear. I see no change, it's like nobody cares. I look in the mirror, see a stranger staring back, lost in the world that's spinning off track. I ask myself, is this all there is, or should I give up and let the darkness win? I see no change, just the same old game. Wake up in the morning, I ask myself, is life worth living, or should I blast myself? I see no change, just the same old pain, but I know deep down, I gotta break these chains. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of time, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. If I can go back in time, tell my younger self it's gonna be fine. Embrace the challenges, let your light shine. You'll grow and learn, just give it time. Hey young me, listen up, don't be afraid. Life's a journey, mistakes will be made. Chase your dreams, don't let them fade. Believe in yourself, you'll make the grade. Don't stress about what others say. Stay true to yourself every day. Love deeply, laugh often. Don't delay, cause in the end, it's how you play. Be kind to others along the way. Spread love and positivity each day. Don't worry about what they may say, cause your uniqueness is here to stay. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, but things change. Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. If I can meet my younger self, I tell her not to be afraid, that courage will be her wealth and bravery will never fade. Don't fear the challenges ahead, for you'll face them head on. Your inner strength will dawn. You'll grow up to be a warrior, standing tall, unafraid and strong. A parent, a role model, and inspired, fighting for what's right all along. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of time, fix my mistakes, but things change. Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. Looking back on all the roads I've traveled, regrets and lessons learned along the way, but still holding on to hope and faith that with God's grace, a brighter day will come our way. I see no change at all. I'm stuck in this cycle, feeling so small. I ask myself, is this all there is, or should I just end it all with a final kiss? I try to stay strong, but it's getting harder each day. The pain and the struggle won't seem to go away. I'm tired of the lies, tired of the deceit. I see no change, just defeat after defeat. I wake up in the morning feeling lost and alone, wondering if life's worth living or if I should grab the throne. The weight of the world on my shoulders is hard to bear. I see no change, it's like nobody cares. Deep down I know I must fight, I won't let the darkness consume me. I'll shine my light, I'll rise above the pain, I'll break free from these chains. I'll find my purpose and I'll make a change. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, but things change. Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. Sometimes in life we make so many mistakes, and we think that when we fall, we're not able to get up. We listen to those that, talk in our ear, tell us that they, are there for us. And at the end of the day, what's crazy? A friend ain't nothing but $1 in your pocket. Family is what you make of it. Family is not who you're born into. Alright? So we need to pick ourselves up and do what we gotta do. Life is not for you to sit around and wait for Superman to come and save you. Only you can save yourself.
Just like that.
Blessings, mouthpiece. Blessings, how you doing this morning? Welcome to the live, mouthpiece. Blessings, Jug FL promoter. How you doing this morning? All right. So we're gonna hop right into the Elon Musk, Donald Trump situation, right? So it seems like, you know, relationships have broken. Shit. How people switch up, right, on politics, right? Can you believe anything they say now? You know, you hear Elon Musk accusing Trump, you know, of being in the Epstein parties, but y'all remember, right? If y'all been following me from the beginning, I used to ask this one question: how does Trump know about this unless he was spying on them, right? Or he was a part of it at one point and didn't agree to it and wanted to get out? See, I had a lot of questions, but hey, you know what? Let's get back on topic, right? How does Musk's opposition to Trump's bill reflect broader concerns about government spending and national debt? Should billionaires have significant influence over political decisions, or does it determine democracy? Undermine democracy, my bad. Right. And I mean, a lot of people are saying that, you know, in reality, you know, Elon is the real president, Trump is just, you know, but I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on, right, with these two. Was Trump here to just help boost? I mean, was Elon here just to help boost Trump? Boost Trump's election. I don't know what the hell is going on, right? Regardless of anything, like I tell people, I always have a plan B. Shit. If war was to come, I'm sure as hell not going to be sitting here dropping like a fly. That's not going to happen. We are not dropping like flies in this bitch if war comes, okay? That's a big no-no.
In the face of darkness, I stand tall and strong. With faith as my shield, I'll keep marching on. You may try to bring me down, you may try to silence me, but the warrior in me would never give up. You'll see, through trials and tribulations, I'll keep the fight alive. With courage in my heart.
The solution lies within us. It's time for us to heed. Man, listen, I ain't got no strings attached to my back. My name is not Pinocchio, and I sure as hell do not command to the master. All right? Ain't no master over here. Damn, y'all went and set off that damn alarm. Really? The air was feeling good. Come on, get your alarm. Jeez, what you got these alarms for? They can steal from me. This is why y'all get robbed and y'all don't fucking notice. Turn that shit off. Bitches. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Turn that shit off. Damn, this thing was playing. The hell you got a whole alarm in your car for and you don't come and check on your car when it goes off? Shit. What's the whole purpose of having a fucking alarm? You know what? I'm sorry. That shit just irritated the shit out of me. Like that loud ass alarm. Come and check on your car. Damn. Whoo, my bad, y'all. What mouthpiece said Elon Muskie? All right, so we got Lovely T with the news, right? I got my Twitter over here because we're gonna hear what Lovely T says, and then we're gonna hop onto Twitter to see if it's really a war going on. She got her Twitter on this, John, right? So we're gonna hop on Twitter in a minute, but let's check out what Lovely T got to say first. Oh, Elon Musk. Let me see. What are you saying, Elon? Oh, Elon is posting. All right, so we're going to check Twitter in a minute. All right. So here we go. What does Lovely T?
Okay, everybody can hear me fine? Okay. I'll try and come a little bit closer, but
Yo, I like her shirt, right? She got that, John, right? She should put it like that, right? Honey, in the front and on the back saying, I got the tea.
volume, make sure. Yeah, it's all the way
Honey,
up.
do I got the tea?
Okay,
baby.
It should be all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Nothing can stop you. You're all the way up. That's
all right, let me go ahead here. Video. Give me just a second.
Let's go.
Elon Musk.
All right.
Fresh play.
And Trump's big, beautiful bill. Elon Musk ramps up his criticism, calling to, quote, kill the bill. Musk says a new spending bill should be drafted that doesn't massively grow the deficit and increase the debt ceiling. Speaker Mike Johnson says we simply don't have time to start over. So let's bring in.
So we simply don't have time to start over. So you're talking about the bill that everybody was going to, he's talking about the tariffs. Everybody is going to help Philadelphia. I mean, it's going to help Philadelphia. It's going to help America. Yeah, because we had the debate here in Philly too. We had the debate, and I was over here. I'm like, I don't know. I'm still confused. Why I'm confused? Because they sit here and they play games with this shit. Right? The bill that was going to, help us because, he's going to raise these tariffs, and China had to fall into place. Canada had to fall into place. Right? And then us Americans was going to benefit because, no taxes for us. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, something's not right. But then you see every YouTuber, every influencer, every, how can I say, news reporter talking about how this is going to help America. It's going to be a better America. Trump, I'm like, listen, I don't know. He's got some good policies, but some of them policies to me, some confusing. Others I don't agree with. I really don't. See what he did with the, no men on a woman's personal area part, right? I agree with that shit. I completely agree. I don't care if you're a man and you think you're a woman, you should not be in a woman's bathroom, in a woman's locker room, or in a woman's sports team. Point blank, period. Period. But there's a lot of things I don't agree with him. That's why I was like, yo, I wanted Jill Stein, but she wasn't vocal enough. Plus, she was a woman. But that's a topic in another, that's a topic for another live, all right, y'all. But let's get right back into this, the tariffs. So, do y'all believe these tariffs was going to really benefit us? Now, with Elon Musk exposing what he's exposing on Twitter, y'all know it's going to go through Twitter, then it's going to go through Instagram, then it's going to go through TikTok, then it's going to come to YouTube. Heavy. What are your opinions on this?
And CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro to walk us through what we're hearing from Elon Musk and also the reaction now from the White House.
Yeah, Elon Musk looked to put political pressure yesterday and today in criticizing this budget bill that's been a priority of President Trump's. Elon Musk put on his website X, quote, call your senator, call your congressman, bankrupting America is not okay, kill the bill, end quote. And this only adds more political fire to those Republican detroit.
So is Elon trying to say that what Trump is doing is going to bankrupt everybody in America, is going to leave us looking like, I'm not going to say broke, poor. Like, it's going to leave us without houses, without nothing. Like, are we going to be going to the Ice Age, to the Flintstones time? Like, I feel as though we are the Flintstones and they the Jetsons, but are we going further back than the Flintstones? I mean, I don't know.
Detractors in the Senate who say that the president's, quote, one big beautiful budget bill increases spending too much, which the White House is trying to tamp down. They can only lose 3 senators in this vote. And you're going to see members of the Senate Finance Committee visit the White House today as they're looking to convince them to essentially get their chamber in order and back this bill that the president has put a lot of political capital.
It's very interesting that Elon is saying bankrupting America is not okay, kill the bill. But he didn't have the same sympathy when he was on stage acting like the Texas Chainsaw fucking Massacre and slashing other people's jobs.
I'm so dead, yo. She ain't lying. You're fired. You're fired. That's what I'm saying. Like, why the change of heart? What happened? Are they getting affected too due to this tariffs? Are the rich people, the billionaires, getting affected too? What's going on behind closed doors? Am I asking too many questions?
And bankrupting other people's families. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting that now that the leopard is eating his face, now it's not okay to bankrupt America.
Interesting. Should billionaires have significant influence over political decisions, or does it undermine democracy? Does Musk's stance signal a shift in Republican economic priorities, or is it just a personal feud? Are Trump and Elon having a personal feud, or is this something that has to do in reality with the Republican economics priorities? Are the Republicans also, defrauding America, just like the Democrats? And like I said at one point before, why should we believe the left? Why are we believing the right? They got us in a race war. Shout out to Tom McDonald.
Interesting.
Go capital behind.
Aaron, also today, President Trump says he talked on the phone with Russian President Putin for over an hour. What came out of that call?
Yeah, some of the top lines were that President Trump said that Putin said, quote, very strongly that Russia would have to respond to those drone attacks from Ukraine over the weekend, where they essentially smuggled in drones through semi-trucks that impacted and damaged Russian aircrafts and bombers. Trump added about his call with Putin, quote, it was a good conversation, but not a conversation that will lead to immediate peace. Now, this post also comes days after there were talks between Russian and Ukrainian officials in Istanbul, though those did not result in much beyond an initial agreement to exchange prisoners. And just a couple of minutes ago, we heard from Ukrainian President Zelensky, who said in response, referencing this announcement from President Trump, quote, many have spoken with Russia at various levels, but none of these talks have brought a reliable peace.
All right, Aaron Navarro. Aaron, thank you.
You on the right, then they got you screaming, I hate you, on some real shit. And people don't even notice how they got us like that. They got us at war. They got us on a race war.
So let me go ahead and pull up this other video. This was Elon doubling down, okay? So he doubled down on the big, beautiful bill, wanting it canceled.
Elon Musk is stepping up his attacks, calling on his supporters to help kill the bill, projected to add more than $2 trillion to the national debt. Senior political correspondent Racheal Scott at the White House. Good morning, Racheal.
Hey, George, good morning to you. And Elon Musk is not backing down. He's now launched a pressure campaign against this bill as the president is pushing senators to get behind it.
This morning, a growing rift between the president and Elon Musk, the architect behind the massive shakeups that marked Trump's first 100 days. The billionaire, who spent more than $270 million of his own money to help get the president and other Republicans elected, called Trump's signature budget bill a disgusting abomination. Musk now ramping up the pressure, writing, call your senator, call your congressman, bankrupting America is not okay, kill the bill. Musk warning.
Why? Why has change of heart now, yo? Does Musk, I hate saying it like that, man, ability to mobilize public opinion challenge traditional political authority? How does Trump's response to Musk criticism reflect his leadership style? Does, what does, fuck saying Musk, all right? What does what Elon say about Trump? How does that affect his leadership? Does it ruin Trump in any way? Will people turn on Trump? Will they start researching on Trump? You see where I'm coming from? How does what Elon is saying about Trump affect Trump?
About the level of spending in the bill, which the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates will add $2.4 trillion to the national debt. Sources tell us he also expressed frustration that the bill cuts the electric vehicle tax credit, which benefits owners of electric vehicles, including Tesla, and that he personally pushed.
There we go. We're down to the meat and potatoes. This is why he cares. It affects his own bottom line. It affects Tesla. The leopards are munching on his face.
So if it's affecting his business, how bad would these tariffs affect little businesses, small Black owned businesses? Hey, come on, leave your comments down below and let's get the discussion started. Shout out to Lovely T.O. for this right here, because this got me researching. Right, I'm off this weekend and I'm glad she put this out here. We definitely gonna be hitting the current news this weekend in politics. All right, what changes can we get? How can we hit the root of certain problems? Right, bring solutions to the table and find resolutions. Are we able to do that?
Senior lawmakers, including Speaker Mike Johnson, to keep it in. Johnson telling reporters the president was not pleased by those comments from Musk.
He's, as you know, he's not delighted that Elon did a 180 on that. But look, I don't know what happened in 24 hours. Everybody can draw their own conclusions about that.
Other Republicans pushing back.
He's one man. He's not my constituent. He's not even a donor that I know of. So, he's one guy.
Give us some productive feedback that we can operate on. I can't operate on platitudes, or I can't respond.
The president meeting with key senators at the White House, urging them to pass the package, which extends the 2017 Trump-era tax cuts, sets aside nearly $50 billion to resume construction on the border wall, and pushes work requirements for Medicaid. By some estimates, the changes to Medicaid would force 11 million Americans to lose their health insurance over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Jesus Acosta is his mom's full-time caretaker after she was hit by a car. He worries she would be one of those millions of Americans.
See, our questions are getting answered. A lot of us asked, right, when all this was happening, how was this going to affect us? Especially, us in the urban community, right? When it comes to, the Medicare, the housing, and much more. There's already veterans out on the streets that can't afford housing, especially when they was doing, bringing in the immigrants and stuff like that. Like, it's a lot of shit happening. You see where I'm coming from? How is all these changes, right, gonna better us? Do they really better us, or do they really harm us?
Relies on Medicaid for her medication, for her doctor visits, pain management, and if Medicaid gets cut, then that would be an expense that's coming out of my pocket.
Well, I hope he wasn't one of those Latinos for Trump.
Shit. De mi voto es patrón, vamos Trump, que gane. Yo voy. Let me stop. Ay, yo shit, like, arriba Trump, arriba.
No Trump. I'm just saying.
And I would have to be forced to work more hours and spend less time providing care for my mom.
So Musk is also calling on Republicans to rip up the bill, but senators I've spoken to say they do not have time to start all over, especially because the president wants this bill on his desk by July 4th. As for now, President Trump, we still have not heard from him directly on these comments by Elon Musk. Rebecca?
All right, Rachel, thank you.
All right.
Elon Musk is...
Will Trump speak? Will Trump speak? One thing I can tell y'all, man, once again, look, listen, I want y'all to listen to these lyrics, yo. Man, we've been worrying about this. This is why I'm not so shocked, when it comes to the politics, right? Because like I tell people, I got one foot in the streets, one foot in politics, all right? And there's a lot of people that be like, yo, you should run for mayor, you should run for this. Nah, man, look, listen, I'm past 24 years old, right? And I'm still getting my shit together. And I ain't get it together now that I'm 35, man, listen, I ain't poor, I'm broke, all right? I ain't got it like Tasha K. I can't with this shit. Yo, everybody is funny as shit with all this going on, man. Like, what in the world is going on? Lord have mercy. They really is sticking to the agenda. Listen to this. I think this is the song. I want y'all to listen to it. Isn't that what we're doing? Isn't that what we're doing? We're fighting with the neighbors. We're arguing. They got us at a race war and we don't even see it. We don't even peep it. And I know I might get a strike on this, John. But hey, it was worth 18 way before we was 18, yo. Listen, man. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I was buying cigarettes from my old head next door. I was buying cigarettes from my mom at the age of 8, 9, and 10. And half the time, listen, I didn't have no money. I was able to go to the store with a piece of paper. When I got older, I learned that it was credit. You see where I'm coming from? At a young ass age, it was giving us cigarettes. You telling me that at one of them runs to the store, these kids ain't get tempted? I sure is. Listen, I did it. The first time I smoked a cigarette was because I kept seeing, not because I was getting it from my parents or from my old head, but because I seen the older kids that I looked up to back to back smoking. We used to go to the pool when I used to leave Girl Scouts. I'm sitting here at the first time I thought it was cool. Man, the first time I picked that shit up, I didn't know how to smoke. All I know is I felt like I wanted to die. My chest wanted to explode. Like, what the fuck I do? We was young as shit, and they was selling us cigarettes. After that first time that I smoked my cigarette, I started doing it just to be cool. But then I was able to buy it on my own. Now I wasn't getting it from my parents. Now I wasn't getting it for the neighbor next door or my old head. You see where I'm coming from? Now I'm getting it for myself. And I don't need nobody's permission. I didn't even need an ID yet. For that, I didn't get card.
You're either right.
I like how he did that shit. I don't know which one I'm more sicker of. The president of Joe Biden looking like he ate 100 Xanax, but then I'm dead, yo. For real, for real. Biden was looking like he was zany the fuck up. How the hell you fall up the steps with tissue on your damn feet? Like, what in the world is going on, man?
Ballistic missile. You don't run the.
Let's pull a Umar.
To reinforce the vision, it can.
Pay attention. He's gonna tell us how we do it, right? And I want y'all to pay attention to what he says and tell me, right? When you travel back in time, do you remember any of your elders telling you this? Do you remember anybody in the neighborhood talking about this? Do you remember the teachers having conversations? Do you remember anybody within your family, somebody that was called crazy, a conspiracy theorist in your past? Pay attention. Oh shit, shout out. We got We Unlock Nation in the building, yo. And this is Tom McDonald, yo. Listen, I don't listen to music because of beats, right? Some beats are good and they draw my attention, right? And it's a plus when the lyrics and the beats are good. But this motherfucker right here, he can cook his ass off, right? And he could sure as hell put words, right? Listen, his pen and paper got rhythm, yo. And he speaks the truth. He speaks the truth. Y'all got to listen to him. I listen to all types of music as long as the lyrics got a meaning to it. You see where I'm coming from? I don't just listen to listen. Hell no. Man, I'm not listening. Listen, we ain't falling for that shit. Like, people don't even know half the shit they singing out here. So I do listen for lyrics. So if them lyrics got meaning, that song is going to draw my attention. And if that beat is fire, it's a plus. Oh, what happened?
Half the poor use religion and equality and the apps on the.
Bam. All right. So, do all the people in our past that were seen to make crazy and told they were conspiracy theorists, does a conspiracy theory seem so conspiracy now? Does it seem like a theory right now? Does it? I mean, was they telling the truth or were they a part of a conspiracy theory? I mean, they don't seem so crazy now, do they? I'm glad them old heads instilled what they instilled in my head when I was young. You said, Muffy said, you notice he turned his TVs off? Yeah. Against me. Real shit. We've been warned, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if we can control the MK Ultra urges that get, flashed in our faces, right? And have our own thoughts or what. But shit, I know I got my own brain. Listen, I'm a free thinker. Fuck that shit. I could be without the TV shit. On some real, people don't get it. I like I like the traditional way, right? But what I do is I twist it up, right? And make it fit to my convenience. The fuck? I ain't got to do it exactly how they doing it. But shit, I love doing things the old school way. I'm not going to sit here and lie deny that fact. Lie and deny. Ray, come on. Pick one word. One word. Tell your thoughts to stay still, please. Each one of your thoughts need to stay still. All right, shorty? Why did it take me back over here? Where were we? Yeah, we wasn't done with the video.
On Epstein's plane at least 7 times, though it's is doing is genuinely heroic. He will win no friends in rule. Elon says not even those in Congress who had to vote on the big ugly spending bill.
We was right here somewhere.
So let's see.
It happens on both parties. Do y'all not notice that whether it's the Republican or the Democrats, they both do it? It's happening on both parties. So are both parties corrupt, or corrupt, or are both parties being told by what to do by the alleged 1%ers? I mean, it's only but a fair question. Honest, fair question. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Poor whites, poor blacks that have just been kicked out of Job Corps in less than 24 hours, right? So he's calling out Trump on, the so-called debt ceiling. Then somebody else posts this, increased spending. I have a plan to cut spending. Elon Musk laughs. Then he posted this old video. He says, this was me in 2021. Elon, get rid of.
And we watching Lovely T because she somehow saw something and put it together, right? We're going to hit my Twitter and we're going to see what's going on Twitter. I see Elon has been posting a lot within these past 2 days. So we're going to see if we see what she saw. And I mean, obviously she saw it. I mean, she's showing it to us and she's breaking it down to us, right? But I want to see, like, damn, how she put that shit together. I don't even be on Twitter like that. So I got to give it to her.
Of all subsidies, we don't need a $7,500 EV tax credit. Honestly, I would just cancel the whole infrastructure. So let's play this real quick.
Saying get rid of all. We don't need the $7,500 tax credit.
Scroll up.
I would say, honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation.
There you go.
What about the support though for the charging network? I mean, there are parts of this bill and no.
No, I mean, do we need support for gas stations? We don't. So there's no need for this for support for a charging network. I would delete it. Delete.
Okay. All right.
I'm literally saying get rid of all subsidies, but also for oil and gas. We don't need the $7,500 tax credit.
All right, so that was him in 2021. Let's see here. Detecting defective. I think that's something else. Since you were doing over the past few months. Then somebody else says this. Thomas Massey, the House has 72-hour rule, which requires the bill to be posted 72 hours before passage, but the Speaker circumvented the rule. Elon says not even those in Congress who had to vote on the big ugly spending bill had time to read it. Well, we could have told you that about a lot of these bills. A lot of these executive orders are just being signed with no, thorough thought as who's right. Debt, budget, or bust.
Oh, Sam, see, that's why I don't want to.
Then Speaker Mike Johnson, the Americans are on their own. I'll try and find that clip, but that's going viral today. They're not able to predict hurricanes because, again, these budget cuts just slicing people's jobs, thinking science is not real, it's a waste of money, and it's going to affect a lot of people. So then he posts this from the Hill. Senator John Thune, our nation is deeply, deeply in debt right now. Next year, our country will owe more than we produce for the.
All right, so I'm gonna pause this right here, and this is what I'm gonna do. Right, we're gonna take us to we're gonna go to Twitter ourselves, right? Because I don't want to use too much. If she's getting it the same way we can get it, let's go check it out. All right, so let's check Twitter out. All right, so Elon Musk, this was 19 hours ago. Do we have to go to, let's go to his page. I have to what? Get verified. Verified for what? I have to follow him? Oh, no, you want me to pay for a subscription. Fuck you. All right, so he's got this pin. He posted it 21 hours ago. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? But Elon, you're not the 80% in the middle, is you? Let's see, what did the comments say? I don't know how to get into the comments yet. I told y'all I don't mess with Twitter like that. All right, so let me see. Elon reposted this 21 hours. This is why Republicans will likely lose the House in 2026, and the Democrats will spend 2 years investigating and impeaching President Trump. Trump and the Republicans in Congress need to deliver. We want a budget cuts. We want agencies shut down. We don't want big governments. Let me see. Somebody put, I went from feeling enthusiastic in January and February to being completely delusioned by the Republicans. Literally was thinking I was going to use my platform to campaign in the midterms to help them secure more wins. Ha! So he is really throwing shots. There is a war. I don't know if y'all got Twitter. Do y'all got Twitter, man? Y'all need to go check Twitter out. It's a borrowing limit. It's not a function. It's a rule violated by a weak Congress. So let's see. He also reposted this. Jesse Waters, the media said that Musk was the co-president. The media said Trump was doing favors for Elon Musk. Well, if you look at this big, beautiful bill, there's no favors for Elon Musk in it at all. Let's see why he's saying that. Oh, man. Who got this music?
This is the priority right now. You have 4 years to balance the budget. Yeah, there's a lot of pork in this thing. There's a little. My issue is that the media said that Musk was the co-president. He doesn't look like the co-president anymore. The media said Trump was doing favors for Elon Musk. Well, if you look at this big, beautiful bill, there's no favors for Elon Musk in it at all. Now, the big, beautiful bill, now he's got a beef with it. These are the things that Trump ran on and won on. Wall, ice skies so you could do mass deportations, military, F-35 ships, pay raises for the troops, and tax relief for everybody, no tax on tips. These are the things that won him the election. He didn't run on balancing the budget. So this is the priority right now. You have 4 years to balance the budget. Yeah, there's a lot of pork in this thing. There's always a little pork, all right?
A little pork. What the fuck?
Bill. This is the signature piece of Donald Trump's second term. This may be the last major piece of legislation Trump ever passes. Well, he might have 3 terms, but for now, we're saying this is it.
How's he gonna have 3 terms? Bull tripping. But yo,
my issue is that
this shit is crazy.
Debt, which means you can bring down government interest. Number 2, you can bring down government debt, which means you can bring down government interest.
This says the federal government today pays more in interest on the debt than we do in budget for the Department of Defense. We pay $1.2 billion a year in just interest on debt. Total government spending in about $7 trillion interest. Payments are $1.2 trillion. DOD, what is a DOD? Is $800 billion a year. Total debt is $35 trillion, and it's another $1 trillion of debt every 100 days. How in the world is they in debt like that? See, that's another thing that I've been hearing people talk throughout the years from when I was little till now, and it seems like now people are starting to see it. So what was they covering this? How was they covering this the whole time? Through the presidential elections, like the Mandela effect, like, is that why they came up with the I mean, I think it is, because I'm answering my own question. I did a whole live on this, right? Because isn't it proven that they came up with the Mandela effect to test us, right? To see how much we do remember throughout the years and what we forget. Because I remember we did a whole live about the Mandela effect. See, listen, I'm just gonna ask. I'm just a little curious.
Number two, you can bring down government debt, which means you can bring down government interest. And the government today, the federal government today, pays more in interest than we pay for the Department of Defense.
Right, but how much of that is salary?
No, that's just interest on the debt.
Right.
That's just interest on the old debt.
Okay.
We pay like $1.2 billion a year right now, I think is the latest number, which is just interest on debt. It's not paying for any good or service. It's just interest on debt. But again,
what percentage of that is of the GDP?
Well, the total government spending is on the order of $7 trillion. Interest payments are like 1.2 trillion, something like that.
1.2 trillion.
I think that's the current number. DOD is 800 billion a year.
So 1.2 trillion.
Just off the top. Yeah, just off the top. And again, no tax. Nobody's benefiting from that. It's just interest payments.
That's bananas.
Right. And total GDP is like I don't know. It's I don't know.
Why is he exposing Trump now? All right, I know I saw a video earlier. I wonder if I'm going to see it here where it says that you guys says it's like Elon is accusing Trump of being in the Epstein parties and shit like that, and it could be true because listen, like I said earlier in this live, I've questioned how Trump knows what he knows.
It's 20, 30, 40 trillion. It's it's much larger than that, but like still,
it's enough.
This is a lot of money, and the total accumulated debt is 35 trillion, and the total accumulated debt is 35 trillion, and it adds another trillion of accumulated debt every 100 days. Yes.
Oh my God, it hurts my head.
There's a Congress.
Let's keep going. I wonder if Trump is throwing shots. I'm about to look up Trump. We're gonna go to Trump's little Twitter. So these are all reposts from Elon Musk. What is this? Check out the Starlink minis of Texas. I'm not looking at that. If America goes broke, nothing else matters. So let's see. And this is something that he reposted, right? It says, if the country goes insolvent, if all the money is just spent on paying interest on debt, there's no money left for anything. A country is no different from a person. Country overspends. Country goes bankrupt. Same as a person who overspends goes bankrupt. So it's not optional.
If the country goes insolvent, if all the money is just spent on paying interest on debt, there's no money left for anything.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I'm doing this, is because I was looking at the big picture here, and it's like, man, our debt's getting out of control. The interest payments, the interest on the national debt now exceeds the entire Defense Department budget.
$1 trillion a year in
Yes.
interest, just to carry the money that we owe is $1 trillion a year.
Yes.
That is unbelievable.
And rising rapidly. So like, the country's no different from a person. Country overspends, country goes bankrupt. Same as a person who overspends goes bankrupt. So.
But if America, prints out so much money every year, why haven't they paid off the debt that they owe? How is it that they keep getting in debt?
It's not like optional to solve these things. It's essential. So
we're going to go bankrupt.
Yes,
we are.
Because
so according to Elon, we're going to go bankrupt. Wait, I don't want to look at the comments. Let's see. Let me see. Senator Rand Paul. I'd vote for it if we got real spending cuts, but this bill is the largest debt increase in the U.S. history, $5 trillion. That's like giving your 16-year-old a credit card, watching them rack up $2K on booze and gambling, then raising their limit to $10K. Irresponsible. So what is he trying to say about
Senator
this?
Rand Paul joins us, Republican of Kentucky. He's been all over the place.
This was
right
posted
now.
yesterday.
He's a man of the hour in many ways. Pressure is being applied, but Senator Paul, you've been through this before. What do we not know about this big, beautiful bill that you do?
Well, I would call it the big, not yet beautiful. Could be made prettier. Could do a little touch up to make it more acceptable. There's much about it I like. I like the tax cuts. I voted for the tax cuts in 2017. I'd like to make them permanent. I agree with Art Laffer that you can reduce tax rates and actually have more revenue. So I don't accept the CBO argument that the tax cuts will add to the debt. I am for spending cuts. I don't think there's sufficient spending cuts in there. but I will work to try to put more spending cuts in there, and I could vote for it if we get more spending cuts in there. But the one thing I can't support is the third part of the bill. That's increasing the debt ceiling $5 trillion. Because I think that is like drunken teenagers that run up, you give your 16-year-old a credit card, a month later they've got $2,000 worth of debt, they've been buying booze and gambling and acting irresponsibly. Do you give them now a credit card that has a $10,000 debt limit?
Hell no.
Or do you restrict their debt limit? So I think we should put...
Damn, if my child had a damn gambling problem and a booze problem, listen, I'm getting them help and I'm taking their money away. I'm not going to keep giving them money for them to keep getting fucked up. Hell no. And then keep getting themselves in debt. Nah. That's an irresponsible, neglectful parent.
Rules and strictures try to control the spending of Congress by maybe increasing the debt ceiling for a few months and then see if they can act in appropriate adult fashion to control spending. And then we have the discussion again every 3 months. But what they're wanting to do is raise it $5 trillion. And one thing we know from past history, if you raise it $5 trillion, they will borrow $5 trillion. So it really doesn't become any kind of leash if that's what we give them.
Is this applicable? Liz Warren came out, Elizabeth Warren.
So if Trump knows and the people that are behind Trump know this is going to, ruin America, why still go with it? Why not try to find another way? Elon went right with it too. And what's crazy is you got a lot of blacks and a lot of Hispanics, right, in the urban community thinking that this thing is good. And I asked, I was like, yo, man, is this really a good thing? Then when I sat down with my baby pops, he's like, in a way, but not really. Right? He's like, I will have to do some more research. And then I've been looking and diving down rabbit holes trying to figure this out. And I'm sitting here, I was like, the math ain't math. It isn't. They completely leaving something out, and we see what it is. But what got Elon mad with Trump that now he's exposing Trump? I feel as though that this is a little personal. They fell off somehow, and I think money is involved. Does Trump owe Elon? No, but he's saying it has to do with the bill. So if it affects Elon's business, right, his Tesla business and stuff like that, how do y'all think it's going to affect our businesses here in the urban community? Hispanics and black, both alike.
She wants to get rid of the debt ceiling. President Trump agrees with her. Is this applicable, and would it appease you, or am I misinterpreting the fundamentals of the debt ceiling, what it is?
Well, it's sort of the opposite of what I want. They don't ever want to vote on the debt ceiling, and I want to vote on it every 3 months. So it's two polar opposites. If you never voted on it, there would be no leverage to tell the people borrowing and spending the money they're doing a bad job. It's an inflection point. It's a point of leverage. It's a point of time for debate. So in the past, under Biden, he would ask that we extend the debt ceiling for 2 years with no dollar amount, and we could spend and borrow as much as they felt like they wanted to spend and borrow with no limit for 2 years. $5 trillion is essentially limitless because I'm not sure they can borrow more than $5 trillion. They might be able to, but it is the same thing. No restrictions on your spending. So it's the opposite thing to do. And in the past, no conservative Republican has ever voted to raise the debt ceiling. In fact, this debt ceiling is such immense proportion that it will be the largest increase in debt ceiling.
All right, so it seems that they're at war over the money, right? Elon is asking where is the old Trump. Let me see if I can find Trump. Let's see. Is Trump at war with Elon right now? Is he responding back? What is he pulling?
Mon Valley Works. Urban plans.
No, let's see. Trump posted, this was on June 2nd, yesterday's horrific attack in border Colorado will not be tolerated in the United States of America. He came in through Biden's ridiculous open border policy, which has hurt our country so badly. He must go out under Trump policy. Acts of terrorism will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This is yet another example of why we must keep our border secure and deport illegal anti-American radicals from our homeland. My heart goes out to the victim of this terrible tragedy and the great people of Border, Colorado. It's funny as shit because Trump's parents are all immigrants too. Now, when was this? May 31st, Donald Trump says, "Thank you, Elon."
A complete financial and performance. Elon Musk has given me his complete and total endorsement. I will create a government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms. As the first order of business, this commission will develop an action plan to totally eliminate fraud and improper payments within 6 months.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as DOGE.
That's a big one.
I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE, perhaps you've heard of it. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
That is going to do more to unleash innovation, to unleash economic prosperity, when you don't have this crushing bureaucracy that answers to nobody sitting on top of the American.
I'm so confused. If he posted this on May 31st and they've been falling out within the past couple of days, what happened? He was thanking Elon right here. They were just partnering. So was the Doge thing a scam?
Live for others meant these warriors picked up their mantle of duty and service, knowing that to live for others meant always that they might die for others. They gave everything.
He's giving tribute to somebody there. May 24th. Yeah, Trump is not replying back. Yeah, Trump hasn't replied back. So it looks like we're going to do a part 2 on what's going on with Elon. All right, guys, we definitely is going to do a part 2. See what's going on with Elon versus Trump. What happened to their relationship, why it went sour. Just on May 31st, they were good. They were buddies. They were, they had future plans. They had goals set and everything. And out of nowhere, boom, everything tears apart. So we're going to get to, we're going to do a part 2 because we need to see if Trump replies back to Elon. So far, it's been Elon throwing shots at Trump, saying what happened to this Trump, what happened to this Trump. We all know what happens when it comes to the presidential elections, right? All these presidents say one thing before they become president, and then when they become president, they end up doing, whatever the master tells them. So how does social media amplify political conflicts between high-profile figures? Does Elon use of X, formerly known as Twitter, does Elon use Twitter to rally opposition to the bill set? You know what? I need to well think that question. I just fucked that whole question up. You know what? I'm gonna leave that one right there and redo it. Let's go on to the next one. I can't believe I just messed that whole question. I had a good question in mind. I don't know what the heck. It's the way I formed it. Should political debates be conducted publicly or on social media, or does it lead to misinformation and plagiarism? My bad. And how does Trump's Truth social platform influence his ability to counter Musk's criticism? Blessings. We got Miss Chicago in the building. I am taking my time. It's the way I wrote this shit. My baby papa always tells me, because I do write on sentences sometimes, and I don't realize that sometimes, when I'm thinking in my head, I listen. I mess myself up sometimes. So I'm gonna redo them 2 questions right there, and I'm gonna ask those 2 questions on part 2, because if we know Trump, he can't control himself from tweeting his ass off. So it's not going to be long before Trump replies back to everything that Elon is saying and Elon is accusing him of, right? So there's a lot that Elon is accusing Trump of, but we're going to wait for Trump's reply. All right, and we're going to get into the current news here, not just in Philadelphia, but around us, right? But the majority of today's current news is going to be evolving around Philadelphia. All right, guys. So y'all know a shorty is from North Philly. All right, so if y'all
begin this half hour with a murder investigation.
If y'all from North Philly and y'all haven't heard about this, man, listen. There's a lot going on in Philadelphia between the gun violence and, you know, the bullshit going on with the teenagers, right? And I gotta give a big shout out to Cheryl Parker, because she is trying to find ways, right, to end the gun violence and everything that's going on within our communities. It is too much going on, right? We got people stabbing people. I feel as though like we're living the purge right now. For real. I'm not going to sit here and lie, right? So these are the things that have been happening around North Philadelphia, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. 1 second. All right, let me go with something. All right, guys. My bad. We got a story, right, of a love triangle that ends with murder after shooting in Philadelphia's Hunting Park section, right? Now, y'all heard in my little lyrical poem, right? Welcome to Philly, right? And then I just be like, HP in the house, baby. Well, HP is the Hunting Park community where I'm from. All right. So we have a lot of issues that revolve on, like, you know, with these type of situations, right? The same way that these issues thrive in other communities within other cities and other states, right? So my question to a lot of y'all is, right, what drives people to stay in relationships that involve emotional competition? Does jealousy stem from insecurity, or is it an unavoidable human emotion? How does betrayal impact decisions? How does betrayal impact decision making in high stress situations? And can love triangles ever end peacefully? Can love triangles ever end peacefully, or do they inevitably, oh my God, why can't I say certain words? Inevitably lead to conflict. All right. So I want y'all to keep those questions in mind while this video plays.
We begin this half hour with a murder investigation in Philadelphia's Hunting Park section. Police are searching for a shooter this afternoon after they say a love triangle turned fatal.
Yeah, officers say a woman's new boyfriend shot and killed her ex-boyfriend. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson joining us live at police headquarters with how this all played out, Sharifa.
Yeah, Brian Zaire, police say this was a very tense situation that happened early this morning, but they say by time investigators arrived, that victim and the suspect, they both were already gone. Today, this Hunting Park block looks the same as any other, but early this morning, the street was a crime scene.
This time we believe this may be some sort of love triangle.
Police were called to this home on the 3400 block of North 5th Street just before 1 Friday morning. Witnesses reported the sound of multiple guns.
That shit is so close. That's all, like, yo, it's looking familiar, yo. They really in HP.
Gunshots. The scene played out on the sidewalk where police say they found blood in 3 shell casings and ended with a 26-year-old dead.
It appears that the current boyfriend, who's 24 years of age, shot the former boyfriend, who's our 26-year-old victim.
That victim was shot 3 times, twice in the stomach and once in the leg. He was scooped up and rushed to a hospital in a private vehicle, but didn't survive. Today,
he was scooped up and rode to there. Like, they scooped him up like he was just a pile of ice cream on the road or some shit. Like, he was scooped up though. Yo, why do you, like, I don't know, is it me or certain news reporters are starting to sound good? Like, maybe I'm tripping.
investigators say they're searching for one specific person as they work to piece together the timeline of this deadly love triangle.
We're being told who the shooter is. We have his name, We don't have his last known address, but we know who we're looking for. So we're pretty confident that he will be taken into custody shortly.
Yeah, and at this time,
y'all said that about somebody not so long ago, and y'all went on a manhunt, and we haven't heard an update about this person that killed, that unalived his fiance and buried her in hollow grounds. I didn't hear no updates on that yet. But this whoa. What psychological factors push someone to commit violence over romantic disputes? In the society normalize toxic relationships, making extreme reactions more common? How does impulsivity play a role in crimes of passion? And what I mean by that, right, is do a lot of these situations happen due to people not fully maturing emotionally, mentally, right? Sexually, and let's not forget spiritually. They don't explain that if it's a baby daddy. I don't know. Let's go back. Let's see. Oh.
After they say a begin this half hour with a murder investigation in Philadelphia's Hunting Park section. Police are searching for a shooter this afternoon after they say a love triangle turned fatal.
Yeah, officers say a woman's new boyfriend shot and killed her ex-boyfriend. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson joining us live at police headquarters with how this all played out, Sharifa.
Yeah, Brian Zaire, police say this was a very tense situation that happened early this morning, but they say by time investigators arrived, that victim and the suspect, they both were already gone. Today, this Hunting Park block looks the same as any other, but early this morning, the street was a crime scene.
This time we believe this may be some sort of love triangle.
Police were called to this home on the 3400 block of North 5th Street just before 1 Friday morning. Witnesses reported the sound of multiple gunshots. The scene played out on the sidewalk where police say they found blood in 3 shell casings and ended with a 26-year-old dead.
It appears that the current boyfriend, who's 24 years of age, shot the former boyfriend, who's our 26-year-old victim.
That victim was shot 3 times, twice in the stomach and once in the leg. He was scooped up and rushed to a hospital in a private vehicle, but didn't survive. Today, investigators say they're searching for one specific person as they work to piece together the timeline of this deadly love triangle.
We're being told who the shooter is. We have his name. We don't have his last known address, but we know who we're looking for. So we're pretty confident that he will be taken into custody shortly.
Yeah, and at this time, police, they have not released the name of the victim or the suspect who they are looking for. They say they're currently in the process of interviewing witnesses. They say multiple people were inside of that home when this shooting happened. We're live from Philadelphia Police Headquarters. Sharifa Jackson, Channel 6, Action News.
Love triangles. Like, I don't understand why people put themselves in these predicaments. Like, if you're not happy with one person, right, why not let that one person go? Do you, right? And, give yourself some time, some space to get to know yourself. Then, I don't know, think about getting into another relationship or something like that, right? Like, are love triangles a reflection of deeper societal issues like possessiveness and entitlement? How those cultural narratives about romance influence how people handle rejection? Does the portrayal of love triangles in movies and TV contribute to real life conflict? Like, do people think that what they see on TVs, what they see in Hollywood, right, happening in Hollywood, like what they actually sit here and create for us to get entertained by, do they really? I don't know. I hope all this shit didn't freeze. Give me 1 second, guys. Yep. 1 second. Thank you. Gary says he needs more information, waiting to hear from the woman involved. I know there's going to be more information. There's going to be an update. Like, I'm back. It had froze. Wait a minute. Y'all wasn't able to hear me? Hold on one second. Opposition to this bill indicate a deeper ideological, right, divide. No, dude, I'm trying to fast forward this shit to see. 800 billion a year. Total debt is 35 trillion.
The former boyfriend, who's our 26-year-old victim.
That victim was shot 3 times. Societal issues like. Oh wait, no, I didn't leave. What happened? Wait, I'm confused. Possessiveness and entitlement. Wait, Gary confused the crap out of me just now. I'm like, wait, what happened? I never left. Oh man. All right. So it seems that. Oh, I did? Okay. My bad. It seems that Donald Trump's budget cutting, right, is affecting a lot of programs, right? Now, I do know that growing up, I've seen a lot of people graduate from Job Corps. A lot of people made something out of it. A lot of people didn't, which for a minute also made me believe that, going to Job Corps didn't really benefit you, because at the end of the day, graduating from there didn't help you get the position that you sat there and study for. It's kind of the same thing, that college students go through a lot sometimes too, right? There's so many ways I can go about this, right? But it seems Job Corps is one of the programs that is being cut from Pennsylvania, right? So how will the closure of Job Corps affect young adults seeking vocational training and employment, and thus eliminating Job Corps create a larger gap in workforce readiness for low income and individuals, right? What industries will be most affected by the loss of trained workers from Job Corps programs, and could alternative programs replace Job Corps? Is it structure uniquely effective, right? Is Job Corps irreplaceable or replaceable? Right? And I feel as though, am I still freezing? I don't know what the heck is going on and why this drone is freezing. It's probably because I got a lot of things opened up. Let me close a few pages. Probably because I got a lot of tabs. All right. So I want y'all to listen to this.
Well, a program that's helped thousands of young people in Philadelphia is about to become the latest victim of government cuts. Job Corps is a national program. It's been around for about 61 years. But under the planned cuts by the Trump administration, it's got less than 1 month left to operate. Action News reporter Taronda Thomas spoke with people today deeply concerned about what this cut could mean.
This is a beautiful resource in the city of Philadelphia.
To Beyond Dozier, the Job Corps office in South Philadelphia is more than a building. It's a place where her life has changed.
I was homeless.
Now she's on a different path.
Trying to become a certified medical assistant.
But that path just hit a dead end with news that all Job Corps programs across the country are being cut.
The impact will be felt tremendously.
Philadelphia Job Corps Education and Training Director Jill Payne says her office received a letter informing them that the U.S. Department of Labor intends to close all 99 job centers, including 3 in Pennsylvania. It's a decision by the Trump administration carried out by the Department of Government Efficiencies and Elon Musk.
A program that has typically enjoyed.
So is Trump's policy actually helping us in the urban community? How is it helping us Hispanics and Blacks, right? And what's crazy, right? For those of you, they be like, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Dominican. Guess what? Y'all need to get your shit together, because half our DNA revolves around the Black DNA, as y'all want to call it. And I hate turning it into this, but that's the only way y'all going to understand where I'm coming from.
Enjoyed bipartisan support is now being canceled unilaterally by President Trump and his administration.
The U.S. Department of Labor says Job Corps is being cut because it is no longer achieving the intended outcomes that students deserve. But Pennsylvania Congressman Brendan Boyle disagrees.
Programs like these are investments in our workforce today and tomorrow.
Job Corps is an education and vocational training program for teens.
Shout out to Brandon Boyle, though. But Brandon Boyle, I'm going to take advantage of this live, right? And that's him right there. Like, what's up, man? I wrote you a letter in an email. Write a shorty back. Like, yo, what's up, man? I've been supporting you this whole time. Like, it can't be that one time we sat here and we had a whole, agreement with, what's his name? Peter, whatever his name is. It's you I want, face to face, on video, answering my questions and a lot of other families' questions, all right? It's you. I want you. Not your representatives, not your partners, you. So take the time, check your emails, and email a shorty back, all right?
Today and tomorrow.
Job Corps is an education and vocational training program for teens and young adults. Since 2023, more than 4,200 Pennsylvania residents have been enrolled in Job Corps, which trains more than 1,300 Pennsylvania young adults per year. Under the cuts, by June 30th, Job Corps would have to lay off all of its workers and close all of its offices, including those that have residential programs.
I know thousands of students are going to be homeless because of this.
We're also working with our young people to connect them with some of the other services.
Beyond is determined to live up to her name,
above and beyond,
hoping that Job Corps can be saved.
We need it, especially in the city of Philadelphia.
Congress still needs to vote on this, and it would take bipartisan support to save Job Corps. Right now, a date for that vote has not been set. In South Philadelphia, Toronto Thomas, Channel 6 Action.
So, is eliminating all these programs beneficial for anybody within? Oh, why did I stop sharing? I wasn't supposed to do that. Within the urban community. Let me set this up. I apologize. All right. Is the decision to close Job Corps driven by financial concerns, or are there deeper political motivations? Should bipartisan efforts be made to save Job Corps, given its historical success? How does the closure reflect broader trends in government spending on education and workforce development? What role does public advocacy play in rehearsing decisions like this, right? And sometimes I just wish I could turn back the hands of time, right? But, right, it's crazy because back then I don't know what I know now. And if I knew what I knew now back then, what would it change? Would it change anything? I'm serious. Would it change anything? If I knew then what I know now, sometimes I wonder, would I be the same or would I be different? A shorty still believes in fairy tales and imagination that lasts forever. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. I wake up in the morning feeling lost and alone, wondering if life's worth living or if I should grab the throne. The weight of the world on my shoulders is hard to bear. I see no change, it's like nobody cares. I look in the mirror, see a stranger staring back, lost in the world that's spinning off track. I ask myself, is this all there is, or should I give up and let the darkness win? I see no change, just the same old game. Wake up in the morning, I ask myself, is life worth living, or should I blast myself? I see no change, just the same old pain, but I know deep down, I gotta break these chains. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of time, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. If I can go back in time, tell my younger self it's gonna be fine. Embrace the challenges, let your light shine. You'll grow and learn, just give it time. Hey young me, listen up, don't be afraid. Life's a journey, mistakes will be made. Chase your dreams, don't let them fade. Believe in yourself, you'll make the grade. Don't stress about what others say. Stay true to yourself every day. Love deeply, laugh often. Don't delay, cause in the end, it's how you play. Be kind to others along the way. Spread love and positivity each day. Don't worry about what they may say, cause your uniqueness is here to stay. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, but things change. Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. If I can meet my younger self, I tell her not to be afraid, that courage will be her wealth, and bravery will never fade. Don't fear the challenges ahead, for you'll face them head on. Your inner strength will dawn.
You'll grow up to be a warrior, standing tall, unafraid and strong. A parent, a role model, an inspire, fighting for what's right all along. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of time, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life. Help me see the light through all the pain and strife. Looking back on all the roads I've traveled, regrets and lessons learned along the way, but still holding on to hope and faith that with God's grace, a brighter day will come our way. I see no change at all. I'm stuck in this cycle, feeling so small. I ask myself, is this all there is, or should I just end it all with a final kiss? I try to stay strong, but it's getting harder each day. The pain and the struggle won't seem to go away. I'm tired of the lies, tired of the deceit. I see no change, just defeat after defeat. I wake up in the morning feeling lost and alone, wondering if life's worth living or if I should grab the throne. The weight of the world on my shoulders is hard to bear. I see no change, it's like nobody cares. Deep down I know I must fight. I won't let the darkness consume me. I'll shine my light, I'll rise above the pain. I'll break free from these chains. I'll find my purpose and I'll make a change. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life. Help me see the light through all the pain and strife. Sometimes in life we make so many mistakes, and we think that when we fall, we're not able to get up. We listen to those that, talk in our ear, tell us that they, are there for us. And at the end of the day, what's crazy? A friend ain't nothing but a dollar in your pocket. Family is what you make of it. Family is not who you're born into. Alright? So we need to pick ourselves up and do what we gotta do. Life is not for you to sit around and wait for Superman to come save you. Only you can save yourself.
Just like that.
That's some real shit, man. And a lot of people has benefited, right? So it seems that the policy that Trump has hit us with is not really, benefiting anybody in the urban community, right? I would love to hear y'all comments down below, right? For anybody catching the replay, let's get the discussion started. What are y'all opinions on this, right? Moving on to the next topic, right? We have a hit and run, right? And we have a lot of cases, right? I've come on live, right? And I've shown y'all, like little walk-alongs with a shorty, or, a shorty is we outside with it, right? Or I'm picking up my shorty from school, and I've shown y'all how the people in Philly are, right? I've complained so many times how people, I don't know, I feel as though, like, whenever somebody figures out, right, where time is, where father time is, and they can actually sit down and have a conversation, and, and father time answers them, does time really exist, or is it something, in our heads, whatever, right? But you got mofos out here that are driving on the road, like, like, if, how can I say it? How can I say it? Like if they was running out of time. You see where I'm coming from? That's the best way, yeah. I don't know why it took me so long to, put that into a thought. But shit, like, half the people that are out here getting into accidents are not even drunk or high sometimes, right? I'm gonna be very honest, sit here and admit that shit. Like, I know there's a lot of drunk drivers out here that get into accidents, a lot of people that get fucked up and go behind the wheel and accidents happen. No, but there's a lot of people going behind the wheel, right? And just having fun, doing stupid shit, right? Because they thinking it's cute, they think it's cool, right? And now we having all these types of accidents happen, right? And like the majority of the time, I'm thinking, oh no, somebody's late, probably that's why they rushing. Nah, it still doesn't give you the right. It doesn't give you a reason to sit here and speed through, especially residential areas, right, where kids are crossing the streets, elderly are crossing the streets, right? But then you got sometimes people that are so careless that don't look both ways. They just don't care. They think that they're untouchable, that they're godly, right? That they'll get hit by a car and they, somehow, some way won't get harmed like Superman, right? For some reason. Facts. facts. I got to put this up here because that's some real shit. So, anyways, we got people out here that are just careless, right? Not for, disregarding people's lives and what people go through, right? Out here just doing dumb shit. So, we have a toddler who got hit by 2 vehicles in the Strawberry Mansion side of Pennsylvania, right? Both drivers flee the scene.
Story breaking overnight. Witnesses say 2 drivers hit a 2-year-old little boy and then kept going.
They hit a 2-year-old little boy and kept going. So, should hit and run cases involving children carry harsher legal consequences? And what drives people to flee the scene instead of stopping to help? And I feel as though that has a lot to do with fear of going to jail, fear of whatever. But I feel as though the main one is going to jail. How can law enforcement ensure justice for victims of reckless driving? And I feel as though that the penalties should be harsher. That's why I asked that first question. Should hit and run cases involving children carry harsher legal consequences? And it should. Does public outrage influence how quickly suspects are identified and prosecuted? And I feel as though that in certain situations, right? And y'all, public influence, right? Public outrage, right? It works in certain situations. And that's where I say that social media has its perks, right? Because we could use social media in situations like this to find people like that. But unfortunately, we use social media for so many things, including to become fools of ourselves, right? To make ourselves look like we are a whole bunch of clowns, right? And we all belong in a circus. But back on topic. I apologize for that little random thought right there.
Story breaking overnight. Witnesses say 2 drivers hit a 2-year-old little boy and then kept going. Amazingly, somehow, this toddler only suffered scrapes and bruises. This all happened on 33rd Street at Susquehanna Avenue in Philadelphia's Strawberry Mansion section around 9 last night. Action News reporter Corey Davis is live there now with the story. Corey, you're upset that it happened, but grateful that this was the outcome.
Tam, and it was really a close call for that little boy, too. Investigators are telling us that he was hit at first by an SUV who left the scene, and then a pickup truck hit him right after that.
Hold the fuck, wait. No way, but they got cameras out there, so hold the. A 2-year-old got hit by a pickup truck and then by a Mack truck? Wait.
Upset that it happened, but grateful that this was the outcome.
Tam, and it was really a close call for that little boy, too. Investigators are telling us that he was hit at first by an SUV who left the scene, and then a pickup truck hit him right after that. We're told he got away from his mother and family while they were trying to put him into a car. Once again, a close call for that 2-year-old.
This 2-year-old little boy is extremely lucky because he was conscious, and
a pickup truck hit him right after that. We're told he got a close call for that little boy, too. Investigators are telling us that he was hit at first by an SUV who left the scene, and then an
SUV and then a pickup truck. Yo, this kid got hit by 2 huge vehicles. Yo, this kid had angel wings surrounding him. Yo, this kid had the Lord himself standing next to him. Because he got hit by 2 different vehicles. This shit is crazy. It's kind of like the lamb I saw yesterday on Erie Avenue, Erie and Germantown. I took my son to the eye doctor, and out of nowhere, this damn lame sheep, whatever the fuck it was. I'm sorry, I got a picture of it. Like, I was just fucking confused, like where the fuck the animal come from to begin with. It just came out of nowhere in the road and it just kept getting hit by cars. Then it walked up to me. I pulled my bike in front of it. Then when I pulled the bike in front of it, like it just ran off. I was like, oh, it's so harmless. But Ray, don't be fooled. Fuck that. Anyways. Jeez. I know why the lamb survived, but a 2-year-old toddler? This baby had an angel.
Pickup truck hit him right after that. We're told he got away from his mother and family while they were trying to put him into a car. Once again, a close call for that 2-year-old.
This 2-year-old little boy is extremely lucky because he was conscious and he's in stable condition. And right now he has scratches and bruises to his head and face.
And Action News was here at North 33rd and West Susquehanna Avenue in Strawberry Mansion last night as flashing police lights lit up this dimly lit area. Drivers certainly have to pay attention because it's so dark out here at night. In this case, police say the two drivers who hit the boy didn't stop. We're being told it happened at around 9 o'clock last night when the 2-year-old's mother and family members were about to put him into the car, and then he walked into the street. Police say that's when an SUV struck the child and left the scene, and then right after that, a pickup truck hit him and also left the scene without stopping.
Well, first of all, it's very cowardly to strike a little boy and then flee the scene. You should remain on scene and render aid, and then this is just an accident. But once you flee the scene, now you're looking at some serious charges of aggravated assault and fleeing the scene of an auto accident. We know sometimes people panic, but the right thing to do is call 911 or drive to the nearest police station.
Listen, for some reason, everybody, I mean, not everybody, I've seen some people get out the car and have some empathy and compassion, but other people, man, like, what can we do, right, to get to the root of this problem, right? Because it's not just drunk drivers out here. It's not just, drivers influenced by some type of drug, right? We got drivers out here that are just acting fools, trying to show off for probably somebody, and we have issues and incidents like this, right? So are cities doing enough to improve pedestrian safety, especially for children? And should stricter penalties be enforced for drivers who fail to stop after an incident? And how does poor street lighting contribute to accidents? And what can be done to fix it? What role does driver education play in preventing reckless behavior? And I don't think that driver education has anything to do with this. It's more, I think it has more to do with, basic human knowledge than anything. Like, you should know right from wrong, like, pay attention. Like, you got your license, so you should know the safety, protocol of the road. Like, this is just wild.
And admit what happened.
And as for that 2-year-old, investigators, police say they rushed him to CHOP where he is undergoing treatment. He's getting scans and also being examined for any potential internal injuries that he might have suffered. But once again, he's expected to survive. Reporting live here in Strawberry Mansion, Corey Davis, Channel 6 Action News.
And thank God for that he's going to be okay. Corey, thank you for the update this morning.
And now we want to get to some breaking news in Philadelphia. 2 teenagers shot right outside the doors of an elementary school in the Logan neighborhood.
Oh, man, I went right into the next one. I'm going to have to play this one. Shit. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I was trying to end it right there.
And now we want to get to some.
It went right into it. So this incident had happened like 3 weeks ago, right? 2 teens shot, 1 killed at a Philly elementary school, right? And that's why earlier I was speaking about the gun violence and much more. But I was trying to read the chat before I got into that real quick. Hold on 1 second, right? Gary says, wait, I'm confused. Kid was hit. Where is the adult responsible? That's another thing we don't know yet. I have to get another update. Like that's another thing that I've noticed out here within the communities, right? And not just in Philadelphia, it's happening everywhere, right? Where kids are wandering the streets alone with no parents, right? There are certain situations where I've seen in videos where cops have found kids wandering in the streets and have, somehow found their way back to the child's parent with the child guiding them, which is a miracle. And I'm sitting here like, listen, I don't know if it's, they threw something out in the air when the pandemic hit, but there's a lot of stuff like this happening, and I don't know why. Right? So the parent is being neglectful. So it's not just the drivers that need to be held accountable, right, in a situation like this, but the parents of this child also need to be held accountable for neglect. Because where were they? And why was this child in the middle of the street? How did this child get hit in the middle of the street? So with that being said, we're going to move on to this one right here. Let me see. People confuse love with lust, and here's how I see it. Just is selfish and love is selfless. Lust is selfish and love is selfish. I think people sleeping on numbers. 3 is 1. Something is going on with threes. Threes are my favorite number. She got me thinking. I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole and then poke my head up. Then you can hit me with "Pop goes the weasel." All right. But let's check this next video out, right? 2 teens shot, 1 killed at Philly Elementary School, right? What can we do, right? What factors contribute to the rise of gun violence among teenagers? How do they get these guns, right? We do know about the underground. We know about the dark web, right? But there's more ways that these kids are getting these guns, right? How are they getting these guns? Because we know the gun shops ain't selling them. Are adults getting these guns and giving it to children? We've heard of cases where parents have literally gifted weapons to their child. Should you just gift a weapon to your child just because? Should you make sure that your child is responsible before you put a weapon in their hand? What can we do as responsible adults to avoid these tragic incidents from happening? Should stricter gun laws be enforced to prevent shootings near schools? How can communities work together to reduce gun-related incidents among youth? Does easy access to firearms make violent conflicts more deadly? And I feel it does. So I want y'all to check this out real quick, right? And I'm gonna give my commentary and I'm in the live because we are going over the 3-hour limit now.
Some breaking news in Philadelphia. 2 teenagers shot right outside the doors of an elementary school in the Logan neighborhood. One of them did not survive. Our Dawn Timoney is live for us at Philadelphia Police Headquarters. And Dawn, this is yet another shooting in an area where kids are supposed to feel safe.
Exactly, Sheba, right on the steps of an elementary school. And police tell us more than 3 dozen shots were fired, and there were people inside the school at the time. Fortunately, none of the bullets went inside the building, but obviously super scary.
I used to play on this blacktop right here, and then now someone got shot on it. And it's like, it's heartbreaking. Like 2 teens getting shot like this breaks me. It tears me apart.
John Brown lives right across the street from Logan Elementary School on the 1700 block of Lindley Avenue, where police say 2 teens were shot just after 6 o'clock.
A 17-year-old male was shot in the hands and both legs. Police picked him up. He was conscious, talking.
He was rushed to the hospital and is stable. An 18-year-old, however, was found on the 2nd level outside the school, shot repeatedly.
He was laying on the courtyard area, unresponsive, multiple gunshot wounds to his chest and torso.
That teen pronounced dead at the hospital.
That is crazy, yo. Are schools doing enough to protect students from gun violence? Should metal detectors and security measures be mandatory in all schools? How does the presence of police in schools impact student safety? And what role should local government play in preventing school-related shootings? But see, how did this teen get the gun? Right? So it's not just a school issue. It's a family issue too. And also a community issue. Because if this child didn't get this gun from within the household or somebody in the family, this child definitely got this gun within the community. So how does exposure to violence affect the mental health of students and families? And does social media amplify violent conflicts among teenagers? Is it social media? Is it the music? Is it the movies? You see, what is influencing this? What is making our teens' brains think of more and more violence?
Police say 38 shots in all were fired outside this school.
They're clearly 2 separate caliber, so we know 2 separate semi-automatic handguns were fired.
Members of Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violence Network, also known as PAN, on the scene trying to offer their support.
That's crazy for something like that to just happen, and these people over here are literally not responsive, desensitized the neighborhood, like there's no community, anything. We're boots on the ground, so we out here to help the community and see what we can do to help the families.
The community definitely feeling frustrated.
We need something different. We need something different for our young people.
Yes, we do.
Now, police tell us there are surveillance cameras right outside the school and also in the surrounding neighborhood, and they're hoping that they captured something to explain how this happened and why this happened. Tonight, police say they are looking for 2 suspects. Sheba.
This is crazy. Like, what's influence? Is it, I mean, there's so many reasons why, you know, people are saying why kids are committing, you know, or committing these violent crimes. You see where I'm coming from? And what's crazy is, right, these violent crimes amongst teens, the majority of the time has to do over petty situations. Sometimes it's over a girl. Sometimes it's over $5. So how can schools provide better emotional support for students affected by violence? And what long-term effects do shootings have on communities and their sense of security? Should harsher penalties be enforced for gun violence near schools? And how can law enforcement ensure justice for victims of school shootings? Does public outrage influence how quickly suspects are identified and prosecuted? And as you can see, I don't think so.
And now we want to get to some breaking news in Philadelphia. 2 teenagers shot right outside the doors of an elementary school in the Logan neighborhood. One of them did not survive. Our John Timoney is live for us at Philadelphia.
I think they said Logan neighborhood. I just caught on watching the video again. Damn, is that?
Police headquarters. And Dawn, this is yet another shooting in an area where kids are supposed to feel safe.
Exactly, Sheba, right on the steps of an elementary school. And police tell us more than 3 dozen shots were fired, and there were people inside the school at the time. Fortunately, none of the bullets went inside the building, but obviously super scary.
I used to play on this blacktop right here, and then now someone got shot on it. And it's like, it's heartbreaking. Like 2 teens getting shot like this breaks me. It tears me apart.
John Brown lives right across the street from Logan Elementary School on the 1700 block of Lindley Avenue, where police say 2 teens were shot just after 6 o'clock.
A 17-year-old male was shot in the hands and both legs. Police picked him up. He was conscious, talking.
He was rushed to the hospital and is stable. An 18.
So my question is, wait. So they wasn't even from the school, was they? No, no, because this was an elementary school. So neither of them was from that school. So it seemed like it was 2 high schoolers got shot in front of an elementary school. That's crazy. Was they running to try to get inside the school? I think they was, for safety.
18-year-old, however, was found on the 2nd level outside the school, shot repeatedly.
He was laying on the courtyard area, unresponsive.
Did anybody in the school hear this?
Multiple gunshot wounds to his chest and torso.
That teen pronounced dead at the hospital. Police say 38 shots in all were fired outside this school.
They're clearly 2 separate caliber. So we know 2 separate semi-automatic handguns were fired.
Members of Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violence Network, also known as PAN, on the scene trying to offer their support.
That's crazy for something like that to just happen, and these people over here are literally not responsive, desensitized the neighborhood, like there's no community, anything. We're boots on the ground, so we out here to help the community and see what we can do to help the families.
The community definitely feeling frustrated.
We need something different. We need something different for our young people.
Now, police tell us there are surveillance cameras right outside the school and also in the surrounding neighborhood, and they're hoping that they captured something to explain how this happened and why this happened.
If there's cameras around the neighborhoods, they're gonna find out who did it. They definitely gonna find out, man. So I would like to hear y'all perspectives, you know, on the topics that we brought out here today, right? What do y'all think? How do y'all feel about them, man? Leave your comments down below. You know, let a shorty know. But on that note, guys, this is all the time that I got for y'all, man. I hope that y'all enjoyed the stream. Let me give a big shout out to all those that have been supporting a shorty, my day one supporters, my new supporters, right? I appreciate each and every one of y'all. If it wasn't for y'all, man, a shorty wouldn't have made it this far, man. And for those of y'all that have been here with a shorty throughout this whole live stream, man, y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all chose to rock out with a shorty, man, and I really appreciate that, y'all. But till next time, It's your shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day, man. And let's see if we can bring, solutions to the table. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to make a change, they want to make a difference, but still stuck in the same phase. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to chase a bag, but stay at home and nag. Then when you ask them what they need, they say less talking, more opinions, no prayers with division. You ask me, y'all need to focus more on division, rely less on television. How you want a future you have no vision? This world is just like fiction. What we need is more talking, less opinions, more prayers with no division. Before you come up with a conclusion, giving people false illusions, pick up a book, do your research, learn your history before you end up in a ditch making history. Division and religion isn't working. The only way to show God our faith and love is through our actions. Our convictions is the only thing that really unite us. One God, one nation, different beliefs. There's words that can't fly with the wind. There's insults that are not violent. Meanwhile, while you're home to them, they're killing you on the inside. If I was to tell you that I didn't hurt, I would be lying. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that there's truths that lie, especially when they're telling you that they're indifferent? Getting shoved to the side because you're different. There's a hug out there someone didn't receive today. Probably because of what was said about them yesterday. Probably because of the way they was dressed today. Not realizing that the one that they hate could be the one that saves their day. But you know what? Thanks to them, it's another day in history where you get to flip the pages to your book and speak your story. And Lord, it's unholy. But you know what hurts the most? As I walk down the street and I see how easily we're divided. When we all should be united. One body, one mind, one soul, a million talents. Lord, without you, we're all divided. Forgive them, Lord, for they don't know any better. They don't know that there's someone out there that loves them.